Welcome to the show. It's your boy, BradWOTO, coming in strong like a freak show nightmare. It's Dust Vale.
A freak show nightmare?
What is that intro?
He said it.
It's a Mike Bush reference from back in the day. It's a song he sings like "Coming in strong, like a freak show nightmare." Old school. Don't worry about it. It was an English thing. Okay, you wouldn't understand. Okay, Jay.
Sorry, we weren't born in that decade. Old
You
man.
wouldn't understand because you're from a bootland.
I've never
booty.
Boot.
Yeah, because Canada is in the shape of a boot, right?
That's what it is.
That's
why they call it a bootland, right? That's why.
Canada is Italy. Welcome to the show, everybody. It's Dungeons and Dragons. It's Dust Vale. We're on episode 28, I think. I didn't really title it because it's just the second part of what I had planned for last week. So I've forgotten. It has no name yet. The nameless episode. And therefore I didn't write a number down, but I think it's episode 28, which is pretty good. I think we've been going for a very long time, haven't we?
We have,
When was
yeah,
the first
actually.
episode of this? Because I made a playlist.
Was it in June or?
That was a pretty long time ago, wasn't it?
I don't know.
It doesn't seem like that long ago, right?
No, it doesn't.
But in reality,
Maybe some of you are like fucking tapping your feet, like, can we end this, please? I got shit to do. I went, nope.
I'm digging
it feels like it's been just a week, basically.
Yeah.
Like
It
just a
doesn't
solid
feel
week
like
of
as
playing.
long as it sort of is. I'm trying to find the first episode here.
It's okay. I currently have no volume for some reason, so
Very good. Who needs volume, huh?
none of us. Well,
8
just on,
months ago,
on your
it
music.
says. Part 1 was 8 months ago. We could have almost had a baby.
8
Nice.
months. Wow.
We have a D&D child coming next month.
Are you
That's
playing? Are you
terrifying.
playing music, Brad?
I am.
Well then, that's buggered.
It seems like it's buggered. I've got a bit of a headache. I haven't had much sleep. I drank some like really weird beer last night. It was like an IPA, but
What do you mean weird beer?
it was like 9% or something. The guy that sold it to me, it was like a craft beer house. It was like super hipster, and the guy was like, "I'm not even going to tell you the name of this one. We just call it the shit kicker."
It's like
You were
something
like,
from
that
a
sounds like a
movie.
good idea.
Yeah, he just fucking like we just drank some, but it's weird. It's not like I came away from it like very drunk or anything, but I can tell that that's the one that fucked me up when I went to sleep and like dehydrated me or something, because I woke up this morning like ugh. So I've been a little bit like I just didn't sleep too good and tired, and my body feels like it's hungover, and it's kind of not, but it feels like it. And I know it was the shit kicker that did it. Like I was about to go to sleep like half an hour ago. I was like, yeah, I'm ready to go to bed now. And I was like, oh no, it's time for a D&D.
Nope. The shit
Time
kicker.
for the D&D. The old shit kicker came back. Talking of shit kicking, you feeling better yet, Tenchi? You still got the
Yeah. It's funny, like 3/4 of the time I'm fine, and then as soon as someone asks about it, I always cough. So I don't know if it's a Pavlovian thing or like I always make fun of streamers. It's like,
aware.
oh no, someone thinks I'm almost healthy and not worth sympathy. I'm gonna start coughing.
that happens though. It's like when someone just says like, do you feel strange or whatever? How does your chest feel? And then suddenly you're aware of like your lungs, and you're like, I don't know, man. I think I'm dying. Like,
Yeah, suddenly pneumonia.
yeah, you're like you can hone in on a part of yourself, and suddenly you're aware of it.
Yeah.
Or suddenly you're making it up.
That's when, for someone like me, then 100%. I'm just
Because you're fine at first, and then all of a sudden you're just like, wait, no. Yeah, no, that does feel weird.
yeah. It's definite death coming in.
Definitely.
I'm a pure hypochondriac, so 100% is what happens.
Oh.
I don't know what happened to me. I just like the older I get, the more like anxious and concerned with my actual mortality I become. It's really strange. I didn't give a fuck when I was younger, but now I'm like, oh no, I'm dying. So it's
That's fair. Yeah, as soon as everything's harder to move around and do stuff, you start like, oh man, that. Oh,
I've noticed I'm a little more sickly, like legit as well. Like 30 came and went, and I'm like, oh, that's strange. I am fully aware of my back At all times.
Oh, I have
Every
that.
inch of it.
I can feel my spine completely.
I like how this
Ah, it's
show, the
depressing.
intro to this show every week has become how old is Brad and how
How
old
old
does he
is Brad?
feel?
It's on my channel, okay? So we have to do Brad's ailments at the beginning.
Brad's ailment.
Brad's ailments is an
List
old
the
bit that we
ailments.
used to do where I list all the bits off that's wrong with me. Like I said, because I'm a hypochondriac. And also then I'm like crying wolf all the time. So when I am actually sick, people are like, oh yeah, really? Okay, yeah, poor you. Like, you don't understand. I have diabetes now. Like, yeah, oh, poor you. The doctor's not
Diabetes
going
by
to see.
proxy.
Diabetes by proxy.
It's time for the weekly debilitation update, starring BradWOTO.
Brad's like, I'm dying.
I'm dying, everyone. Yeah, and all I need to do really is like eat a salad and exercise for 10 minutes, and I'd probably be completely.
Yep.
But because I don't, like, I'm like, I must die. Everyone.
It's like lifestyles of the rich and famous, except it's lifestyles of BradWOTO.
Drinking
just
shit
his
kicker and
Just
having
his, new,
chronic
his
diabetes.
newest disease of the week.
BradWOTO discovered the shit kicker when he was.
I'm
32.
adding shit kicker to the taverns. Oh god.
I'm only ever getting a shit kicker.
We're likely to go to Lost Stone next. So if I just go onto my locations, Lost Stone is also the home of Shit Kicker Ale. There you go. It's just that's where you can buy it. You can't buy
Let's
it
go
anywhere
get
else.
some shit kicker ale.
Oh, we're going to get some shit kicker. Like we're not now.
Yeah.
Like we're not.
Yeah, I know. That's it. Now.
The entire main quest can be put on hold
We
as
get-
this
Oh, yeah.
new and more important errand has been cited.
We all
Yeah.
now have
Absolutely.
meta knowledge of the shit kicker.
Yeah.
It's gonna
Yeah.
be my new McLotion. I put McLotion into Fractured Worlds, and that's all they did for 23 episodes was just fuck around trying to buy McLotion. Oh my god. It's this stupid thing. It had no like stats or anything either. It wasn't even a real item, and it became the most important item in the whole game.
because it was.
And they
the-
were like every week, what it did was completely different because I'd forgotten and I never wrote it.
But you
just
gave it to
stupid
John
thing.
because you gave him a fucking STD. Like
He
you,
got an
you
STD.
literally you gave a man's
my hand.
character, which is a male character, a disease on his dick. Of course, that's like his number one priority.
became the
Priority.
main
It
quest.
was to him. It was his own dick that had the
I
fucking.
know.
What was it? The
had
hags, the
like
hags herpes or something? Like,
it was just a disease that came from the hag. Yeah.
yeah. Oh, you called it Hydra dick.
It was called Hydra Dick because your dick split into 3 and then fell off. And
God.
he fucked a fucking hag. He fucked a night hag.
He did. He
Um,
fucked the hag.
And
don't
so,
even-
so it was like, you
Right.
definitely have an STD. You don't even get a con check for that. Like, that's just you straight up have one.
god.
They were like,
Thanks,
"What's the
fucker."
cure?" And I was like, "There isn't one." And then later on, they found out there's one called McLotion, which I just thought was a funny name because McLocan was in it. And that was it for 23 episodes. They ignored the fucking Final Fantasy X sin ripoff thing that was going around destroying everything, and they were just like, "We have to find some McLotion. Let's go get some. Yay! Let's go to every city and buy shit." And they were just buying cakes and stuff.
Did they have to roll a history check to see if they knew what it was?
They never got to roll anything again. That was it. From that point on, it was just me desperately trying to wrangle them back into the main quest.
It should have just been, in addition to the other terrible things the enemy has done, he's also cornered the market by monopolizing all the McLotion.
Yeah, it was like a super chaos. It was just a big dumb animal that was floating around destroying shit. So it didn't really have the.
It collapsed the mine where McLotion is farmed.
it didn't have the lawful evil presence of mind to.
I would have just
Buy
made
up
it
the
in the
moon.
end kill them. And then there
There
you
you
go.
Well,
Is there
yeah,
McLotion in this campaign? Can I spend 23
There
episodes
is.
getting it?
There will never ever
It's-
be McLotion.
The McLotion is now the shit kicker.
But we do also. I did just rat. This is the thing. I added shit rail now, and now
No,
the
no, no.
whole thing.
Well, I just had this thought. See, if we go to the Lost Stone, or what is it, Lost Stone? It's Lost Stone. If we go there and we go, yeah, I'll have the shit kicker, and then if you in that moment make that decision and say, oh, we don't have any, you're the one that's fucked up the quest, not because our first
Well, we
thing is like,
can't-
well, we have to find it.
We
Yeah.
can't ask for it by name, but we can ask for beverages or.
Well, no, I think what Jay is saying is that
If
as
you-
long as he just gives it to us,
Yeah, if
then
you
the
just-
problem is
if
solved.
you just give it to
But if we
us-
go up there and he says, "Oh, we don't have it," well, guess what? Forget all the other quests because we're going to spend the next 40 episodes trying to track it down.
Maybe,
have to
maybe
find
the dragon
the
had some
special
shit kicker
cactus.
ale in its hoard. Let's go
Yeah,
back to
yeah.
Sin River and fight the dragon now.
Yeah. Well, we have our own version of sin in this game. We have Fairlight's monster that's destroying stuff and roaming around.
Yeah.
You should have it so like you have to like it secretes or you have to like milk whatever the big monster is.
Oh,
Where we
God.
find
Milk
it where Luke
Sin,
Skywalker.
You gotta milk
It's
it.
a ghost. What are you
Let's
going to
go.
extract?
Listen, man,
Let's
you can
go
extract.
milk. Speaking of milking,
I
let's
I
mean,
mean,
go
does
milk
the ghost have nipples?
Do ghosts have nipples, man?
Everything has nipples. in this.
If Luke Skywalker could milk the walrus thing,
That's what I was gonna say,
the
man.
walrus bird.
Luke Skywalker did it, Brad. Why can't we?
God, that was such a weird.
There is so much of those Luke Skywalker milk, sea cow, alien,
Yeah,
space cow. I don't know what it was.
I like the Jurassic Park one where he's leaning on him and just like holding on to the alien thing.
Anyway, Shit Kicker Ale episode 1 comes next week. Until then, let's carry on with Dustvale. Last time on Dragon Ball Z. And
Yelling.
They never said that, did they? I don't remember what they said at the beginning of Dragon Ball Z. Who cares? They group departed from their little like brief encounter with the princess of the kingdom or the Vale, the realm, the empire. It's all of them, realistically speaking. And they headed off into the desert. Your predicted route was something like this, based on sort of Raja's sandwalker-y knowledge. And you made it 1, 2, 3 days into your predicted sort of 8-day journey across the deserts. It began pretty well. We sort of, the way we ran it was very much like a classic D&D travel approach, where you just sort of take it day by day and see how you do on navigating, scouting, foraging, and then there's an added con check because of the extreme heat and cold of the area to sort of just survive. Or well, it's not that dangerous, but it's pretty dangerous. For the most part, you guys did really well. You traveled through the deserts, avoided any like serious danger, death, pain, loss of HPs. There were a couple of you suffered from some heat stroke. In general, you didn't struggle at all to sort of find water or to scout things out. While scouting, Lash picked up on a group that were following you through the desert. You guys decided to sort of like get ahead of them, and then you found a really nice cave to settle in. You decided to spend 2 days there, or like a day and a night, recuperating before you set out again. They caught up with you, but they couldn't find you because you were below where they expected you to be. They seemed to be tracking you by some means, but they didn't. They expected you to be there, and although you were, they couldn't see you, and they were a little confused. You managed to sneak up on them and just decimated them in combat. You killed them. There were 3 sort of fighter types, 2 archers, and a mage of some sort. You caught the name of one of them, Balgaresh, and the rest of them you just murdered. Well, murdered, defended yourselves, and that was about it. Oh, and you went through the area of Zephyri, where you previously had a quest from the Chancellor of Shallowscar to see, sort of investigate what happened there. And you got there, and it's just as if there was no town there whatsoever. But you did find 2 masks that were like wooden carved masks in sort of weird, scary ways that don't really seem to stick to your face in any way or have any way to attach it to your head. One of them was burned. You took them with you, and then these guys, when you encountered them, 3 of them, 4 of them had the masks on. 5 of them had the masks on. I can't remember. And that was that. And at the end, Walter was turned into a sheep.
Oh yeah. I got
And-
sheeped.
Walter was turned into a
Valkyrie.
sheep, and also Walter encountered the spirit of one of these.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seems to have traveled instantly into Walter's odd ability to. What are you known as?
The haunted one.
His haunted one ability, which is that he is sometimes sort of possessed, or he takes on another person for a little while. The previous possession was Raja before he was brought back to life, and it seems to be that the next one is this gentleman, this mage known as Balgaresh. And we're just going to pick up straight up from where we left off. There's a sheep bounding around. There's a bunch of dead forms around. I think I still have the battle map, which will make it a little easier for us to remember. So I'll just take us over to that. And most of you are looking pretty good, I think, after that fight. And the forms on the ground are still a little charred. They got hit by a couple of big fireball hits, and they were sliced up and shot up quite a lot as well. But you guys are pretty well off. So yeah, we can just carry on from where we left off, I think. Out in the desert, it's very hot. It's the middle of the day. No, it's nighttime, isn't it?
It's
I
nighttime.
think it's nighttime.
Dead night.
Yeah,
Yeah, you
it's
said dead night.
Dead of night.
Assuming there's enough light of the moon to see these charred corpses, I'd like to go around and loot them.
Some of them are probably still smoldering. Like a lot, they were mostly on fire. They had some very interesting armor on. A lot of them, they looked kind of like this. I would say, imagine a much more scavenged look, but it's this kind of a look to them. Ornate, but close up, you can tell that it's like scavenged pieces that they've put together, and they're with the intent of it being intimidating, as opposed to it being like extremely well forged, like impressive ornate armor. It's more just like
It's like a Mad
makes
Max
them
sheep.
look scary. Yeah, it's Mad Maxy. You're in the desert. So yeah, you've got all these bodies around you, and there's a sheep bounding around. What do you guys want to do?
Well, I
I'm
wasn't
bounding
kidding.
around.
I wasn't kidding at the end of the last episode.
That is retconned. Fuck you. I am running. I am bounding around. I'm a fucking sheep. I'm just I'm just fucking
Roger
running
swings
away.
his pole wire at the sheep, and it bounds easily out of the way.
Give me one moment.
Carlos is
Walter?
gonna look at Balgarash's body.
Walter,
Just
you said last time that a serious injury would break that illusion. Come back here.
I'm gonna jump off the bridge. Oh shit, no, it's a 60-foot drop.
Yeah, you don't want to do that.
Oh, there's
Fine.
a serious injury.
There's a serious injury.
Okay. Raja walks up to the sheep and he pulls out the revolver like he's about to shoot him, and then he starts running off. It suits yourself.
All right, now I will Sudoku off the cliff.
Okay.
I'm just gonna do the fucking, where they like all four legs out to the side.
Yeah, it looks like the sheep from Worms. He just
Yes.
and then
you.
just boom, 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 and then there's a poof, it like Naruto log style, just poof, as the spell is broken. And so, do you take damage for this?
Any
What is it?
carryover damage through his sheep form would. So how much health does a sheep have?
One.
Yeah, I guess you have to give me 66.
It's one.
If a sheep has 1 HP, then you would take all the remaining
Shit.
damage.
Fuck. 66. Oh, guys, I fucked up.
All right, you take 28 damage.
Ow!
Okay.
Oh, I fucked up.
Oh, nice roll, Jay. That was some good damage.
It's okay. It's okay.
How much health do you have?
Enough?
It would have hurt a
Oh,
lot
oh,
less
wait, yeah.
if you just let me shoot you. I'm just saying.
It was fun, okay? I was,
Your legs look broken.
they're fine.
Ab-
It's just
Are you
that-
sure?
At best, he's got a twisted ankle on the ground, splayed out.
Oh,
Fuck. I can't.
Are
math
you
right now.
sure?
It's yeah, no, I'm great.
Then why are you sitting there instead of standing up?
Are we gonna have to carry you?
Nope, I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm not fine. Narrator, he wasn't
I heard
fine.
that.
There is
I'm gonna get up and rejoin them.
there is a voice while you're standing up and dusting yourself off and attending to your twisted ankle and broken wrist and fallen out eyeball. You feel that way. There's a voice from inside your head that says, "Great. So the one person that I end up stuck inside of is suicidal nutbag."
Oh shit, yeah. Can I? Oh, I guess I would. I'm just immediately. I'll probably stop. Oh, really? Now? Like of all times?
Of all times? Do you mean after you've slaughtered everyone, killed a load of people, and you're surprised you've been possessed? What other time are you expecting a wandering spirit to jump out of a dead body?
I just. Oh, were you one of them?
No.
Oh. Well, man, it's just a really bad time. Listen. Okay, I mean, like, there's a process that we go through, but we can like get to that. Do you mind just like being quiet until like tomorrow?
Do you want to
Walter,
explain to
are
me
you
what the fuck
talking
is
to
going
yourself
on?
down there?
No, this is all probably. Oh, it's probably all under. Yeah. No, I'm just going through a spell. Don't worry. Just going through a spell. Yeah. No, like, can you just like give me a day?
Give you a day?
We're doing something really important
want
right
me to
now.
I can't even move.
Yeah.
I can see,
Yeah.
and I can feel that I've got a twisted ankle.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. I know it's inconvenient for me too. I'm just. You seem like a nice guy. We're doing something really important.
Can't you just like send me on to the other side?
Yeah, we gotta sit down and talk about what's gone on in your life and everything or something. I gotta figure out what you need. But
You're a cleric.
No.
Oh.
No, not at all.
Are you like some sort of demonic gatekeeper that's here to question all the wrongs I've done in my life?
No, I'm not like a god or anything, man. I'm just a normal person.
I don't think you're a god. You just flung yourself off a cliff like an idiot.
Yeah, but I lived, so that's pretty.
Yeah, but it hurt, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. What was your name? What was it?
Balgarish.
All right.
Lovely to meet you. What's your name?
Balgaresh. I'm Walter, and yeah, we can totally. You seem like a cool. Just we'll chat on the way, but they don't know. So
if you die,
yeah,
what happens to me?
You're fine.
I'm fine.
Yeah, you're totally okay.
All right then.
Yeah.
Good. I get to watch it then.
Yeah, you get to die again, unfortunately.
I mean, listen, them geezers weren't really my mates, but they were better friends to me than you are, and this lot. So I'll just take a back seat, and then when you die, I'll laugh and watch all your mates die.
Yeah.
And then you'll know how I feel.
Tonight, in like 24 hours, we'll get you out of here. I mean, you can die again, or you can just wait a day.
Are you gonna die tomorrow? You fling yourself off another cliff?
I mean, if it's big enough, then probably, yeah. I mean,
sounds like I need to help you, my friend.
Well, I mean,
sounds
hey,
like we need to discuss some serious issues.
You're the lucky one here. That's I'll start like mumbling as I walk up. Like, yeah, I mean, hey, you don't have to deal with anything. I mean, you were a magic guy? Like, there's just. Do you ever have like oil come out of your armpits whenever you cast a spell?
You know what? I actually used to have that happen to me all the time. There was this one time when I cast a spell, and then I had a beard of feathers out of nowhere.
Yeah. See, and that's, I mean, it's annoying. Like,
probably the worst thing what happened to me. I was sat down. I used to have a pet chicken, and I cast nothing big deal, just a little spell, little doodah. Chicken exploded in fire.
Yeah, I'm sorry to laugh. No, that's terrible.
It was my best friend. That's why I chose never to have friends after that.
I feel the pain. I definitely feel the pain from you. Yeah.
Never keep friends, Walter. Let me tell you, acquaintances at best.
Yeah.
That way, when you blow them up by accident, you don't feel as bad.
Yeah, or I mean, there was this one time where I went to the astral plane. Like that happens pretty often. And then I mean, just like you're like, what if you never come back, right? I mean, what happens if you just never come back?
Well, I mean, I'm dead now, so
Well-
maybe I'll find out.
Yeah, send me like a postcard or something.
Can you send me to the astral plane?
Yeah, well, that's what we're gonna do tomorrow night.
All right,
All right.
I'll wait then.
Yeah, please, thanks. And I'm finally gonna crest the ridge.
I'm
okay.
actually climbing down because I want to check the one guy that got kicked off the cliff.
Yeah.
That conversation went on for a year. Would I have heard that now that I'm down here on his level?
I think at some point I would have switched back to in my head.
Okay.
It'd be like a quick
Probably
reflex to
after I
like,
was like,
so yeah,
"Are
just
you
speak. Yeah, I'd be like,
You guys
"Oh."
aren't just stood around doing nothing.
Yeah.
He's like dusting himself off and getting ready, while the rest of you probably start picking over the
I
bodies.
feel like the second she said, "Are you speaking out loud?" I would have been like, "Oh fuck," and then
Yeah. So you guys start looking over these bodies, right? So, I mean, I'll just give you like a general thing instead of going through each one. Although a couple of them have some specific items. As everybody starts just looking through these guys' belongings, again, some of them are a little bit charred, a little bit damaged. Overall, you find 75 gold pieces. You find enough
We've
food.
had in a long time.
Yeah, you find enough food for like each of them to survive. So you'd find 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days rations.
okay.
3 undamaged water skins. That was me rolling. But that would be useful for you in this sitch. On the one on the ground, Raja, you find some items. Give me an investigation check, actually. Let's see how you look them over. Yeah, you find some items that look familiar or similar to bits and pieces that a sandwalker might have on them. There's a couple of parts of this guy's clothing that look like they were taken or ripped from sandwalker garb, similar to what you've got. Some of the colors that are on this and one of the other warriors looks like it's probably relatively new-ish looking robes that they've incorporated into their strange armor and clothing that they wear. You also find a little white stone, which is shaped like a sort of a shark's tooth with an engraving of an E on it. So I'll give you that in writing. But it is in a little pouch, little red pouch that it looks sandwalkery. You get a sandwalkery feel of it. Who was looking at Balgaresh? It was you, wasn't it, Connor? Elias. This one has on him a broken tulwar, which has like a set of like assorted feathers that hang around the front end of the blade, kind of like those like what's that Chinese long stick that they use in combat a lot. I forget what it's called, but it has like a
I know what you mean. Yeah.
thin blade thing on the end, and it's a really long stick, and they often have that like fluffy thing. He's attached that to the around this the hilt of the tulwar, but the edge, the top end of the blade is snapped off and broken. But a tulwar is very much a sandwalker item. You also find on the body of Balgaresh a potion of greater healing. Other than that, they have 3 longswords. They're kind of ornate looking. They look a bit like the ones that are in that image, as opposed to like a standard looking longsword. But they would function mechanically the same as a longsword, but they look a little more interesting. Though they're very old and battered, they might sell for a little more than a normal longsword would, but they would function just as well.
I'm gonna
It would be
one.
ornate longsword.
Yeah,
or
I just wrote
something.
that.
Times 3.
Cool.
You also have this strange sort of hide armor. They're all wearing hide armor, is what it would work out mechanically as, which is medium armor. But it's definitely weird looking. Like it's crafted very strangely, and it's got these like plated sections. Although again, each one looks similar. It's also they're each completely different. They're not like coming off of a factory line. They look like they were pieced together from scraps of like other armor that they've picked up and found over the years. And they've also they've like sharpened edges and attached like little pointed stones and things to them to make it look more intimidating.
It looks like that.
So that it looks similar to that, but like imagine it more like scrappy and put together by a bunch of people in a desert, as opposed to those guys who look like they've had that actually made. But that's their kind of general demeanor, is that kind of thing. So it's more like they want to look intimidating, like they come out of the fucking desert, and instead of them just looking like a bunch of bandits on the road, they look like monsters or something to freak people out.
If it looks like that, I'll just take that armor right now.
Yeah, I want to take that armor right now.
You would pretty much look like that. You'd look scary and intimidating, but you would also 100% be considered from anyone in a town or whatever to be one of these sand cultists. So you'd instantly be like outed as a bandit. These guys have never gone to a town. Like they don't go to town. If they do, they like throw a robe over and take all this off, go in and sell their things, and then come back out. While they're out in the desert, this is how they look. But as far as how the armor works, sand cultist armor, what it works out as mechanically is hide armor, which is medium. So first of all, you need to be proficient in medium armor. And hide armor isn't great, but it looks wicked. You'd look fucking scary. You'd look Mad Max-ish. But for a lot of you, it'd probably be a downgrade from what you have.
Can I just take some of the like fetishes and pieces of whatever and put them in the
You
bag?
can make yourself look mental out of bits of it, yeah, and just not have a mechanical effect for whatever you want to do.
I don't want to look like a crazy sand cultist. I just like some of the small pieces and like adornings of like the van braces or whatever. I'll take those and shoulder pads.
There are 5 more of those masks. 5 like wooden carved masks that are like scary looking, which will bring you up to a total of 7. Whoever's holding on to them. And then they also have a specific head dress that wraps around that mask to hold it tight to their head, and it goes like all the way around and attaches to part of the robe and then holds the mask in place. So there's like lots of fabrics and robes that you could easily just be like, I can claim this.
Does Balgaresh have a mask, or is he just a hood? Kind of?
Balgaresh didn't have a mask. No, Balgaresh looked very different to the rest of them.
Oh yeah, what's he wearing?
He's wearing just a standard set of like traveler's clothes, very battered up and old looking, and then he's got a very thick robe on it. The only different thing is that on the back of Balgaresh's robe, there's a very obvious symbol. Everyone give me history checks.
Shit.
We are the least learned group in history.
Wow.
Sounds about right, honestly.
Hey. So nobody knows what this symbol means except for Raja, who knows that this symbol is the symbol of the carved men. It looks a bit like this. It's kind of like a skull with like a sunken eye on one side, very tribalish looking. And it's a symbol of the carved men out of lost stone. Nobody else really probably has heard of these people. I guess that they're a small mercenary company. Raja, you're the only one that knows this. Maybe Walter and Lash, you've heard of the name, the Carved Men, but you wouldn't know anything about them. The rest of this information, pretty much only Raja you have. They're a influential and powerful mercenary company within the small town of Lost Stone. So overall, they're not very influential or very big, but inside of the town of Lost Stone, they're pretty influential. They have they sort of just a mercenary company that work for whoever is offering gold, regardless of the ethical compromises of the work. But they will do good work or bad work. They're not necessarily like an evil, it's the evil secret cult of carved men. They're just an open mercenary company, but everyone knows that you can pay them to do almost anything whatsoever. And also you can work for them. If you need money, you can just go into Lost Stone and just be like, hey, here's my set of skills. Do you have any work going today? And they'll just give you work. So you won't be a carved men initiate or anything like that. You can just take some of their jobs and they'll give you the gold or the job or whatever. So they sort of work as a bit like a guild kind of thing, like a mercenary guild, but they have like a core set of mercenaries who sort of come and go as they please, but they work directly for the carved men. And the symbol on the back of Balgaresh's robe is of this symbol that you, Raja, recognize to be the symbol of the carved men.
And these carved men are separate from the cultists, or is that what these are?
No, you would assume that they would be separate. The cultists are more of a religious thing. They're like crazy devout followers of Titan who are just they pretend, they sort of go under the guise of we're clearing the sands of infidels kind of thing, but really they're just glorified bandits who pretend they're purging the sands of non-believers, but really they're just robbing them for their gold, and they're doing it all for this kind of like evangelist purpose, but realistically it's not. There's sort of like there's another group that are known as the Oracles of Hope, which I'll give you the name, who are like super evangelists that work out of Thin Dune, because Thin Dune is very religious because of its close proximity to Dreadtusk, which is that big religious site. Some people think that these sand cultists either still work for or came from the Oracles of Hope, or some like weird sect of them that then split off and started going out and just killing people because Titan and Mistra and the religious heresies that people cause everywhere else. But generally, in terms of the carved men mercenaries, they wouldn't necessarily be associated. But they it's not that they wouldn't work with each other. The sand cultists could technically just go to the carved men and get a job. So maybe that's what happened.
Right. Yeah. Okay. So we clearly have two different factions working together for whatever reason.
So yeah, I would say that you guys maybe spend a little while moving about each of the bodies, taking anything off of them that you want.
Yeah.
Would there be like maybe a pile nearby of the stuff that you managed to take off of them that seems to be of worth or that isn't damaged? That's what you come out with. I didn't say 75 gold, did I? I didn't write it down.
You did, yes.
Oh,
so
you did. You
took
didn't write it in the
15
chat.
from
Yeah,
that.
I like to write it in chat in case we need to come back to it in like 2 weeks or something, and I can find it. So that's what you find on them. That's pretty much of worth, basically.
Who's holding onto our money? Is it just?
I guess we'll each take 15 of the gold, right?
I don't think you guys have ever had like an accountant, right? You never had like a bank
yeah, because
manager.
I've got 79 on me, right? I'm literally the mule for everything we have, like in terms of any supplies. So if you guys want me to hold on to the gold as well, I can keep track of it. But if you want to split it up 15 by 15, that works. Yeah, I'll trust your math.
Okay, yeah, that gives me a total of 30 gold, and we probably have some stuff we could sell too.
Yeah. I'm gonna real quick with Balgaresh. Just hey, Balgaresh. You. Was this you? Was this your body? Did you came from these guys or no?
No.
Okay. You're sure?
Who's asking?
Me.
Why?
Because I'm looking at what I think is your body right now.
You're gonna put me back?
No, I just want to know if you've got anything secret on you.
Maybe. What's in it for me?
well, we can have a conversation, I guess, on the way instead of tonight.
Well, I ain't got nothing secret. Not really.
All right.
See, I always relied on magic and that, you know. Never really had to hide things. I could always just hoodagaba magic.
Right. So, so this is your body then.
Well, maybe.
Oof. Sorry about killing you, man.
Yeah, it happens. I've spent most of my life killing people. I knew it was bound to happen at some point.
Yeah. Just talk about that's a little awkward. Never had that happen. Okay. Well, yeah. Okay. I'll talk to you. Yeah. All right.
Isn't Balgrash's brains just splattered out?
He got fucked up, yeah.
Looking down at his body, just fucking. Right. Okay. Gonna shuffle awkwardly and walk away now. Can I walk away from the spirit in my head?
No.
Oh.
I mean, he's quiet. He seems
yeah.
relatively peaceful.
All right. Thank God.
He didn't go full poltergeist on you.
Just imagine him like pissing in my brain right now for killing him. Yeah, I guess we would. I guess we just pack everything up. I'd probably, yeah, I'll suggest kind of hiding the bodies down where we came from.
Yeah, I'll just I'll probably walk over here under the bridge and just yell up at them to throw the bodies off the edge. I'll start moving them into the cave and cover our tracks.
As you say that, one rolls off like the same mind.
So you guys want to hide the bodies and
Yeah.
and head out or head into the cave?
Let's see, what time is it?
I think it's like late night, right? So our agreement was to sleep into the morning, travel during the day. Okay, yeah. So probably sleep for the night. Yeah.
Relax. Yeah, I mean, you guys can take a long rest and just recuperate, because the whole point of staying here was to recuperate, and then you got into a fight anyway.
Yeah.
So you guys can hide all of the bodies to the best of your abilities, cover up the bloodied bits of sand. But you're in the middle of nowhere. You wouldn't assume anyone was really going to be just like waltzing past at any old point.
Still, just in case, because we didn't know these guys were following us until a day ago. So
Do we need to worry about like predators being attracted by the bodies and stuff
Ooh.
too? Do we need to bury them a certain depth or?
There's a lot of shit out there, and a lot
Yeah.
of it is carrion because it's a desert.
mm.
And I honestly, that's why I thought you were removing the bodies. What are you doing with
that
them
just-
particularly?
Is the cave's made of rock, right? It's not sand, or yeah, okay,
Yeah, it's like a red stone.
they'll be
rock
fine in
looking-
a cave then. We would know that. I think.
They're not
Yeah,
going to
that
start
or-
something-
stinking straight away.
Yeah, I
Either
just
that or
assumed
we
that's
would
something
burn them.
Raja would have told Walter Young is don't bury them on the sand so nothing comes up from it or whatever. So on the rocks it should be fine.
Cool. Yeah, so you guys all head in to your little cave for the evening. Settle down, rest. You guys can take a long rest. I assume everyone
I think.
is going to chill overnight. Let me just...
Yeah, cycling watches probably every couple
Yeah.
of hours, like we usually
Definitely.
do, and I would start the campfire again, cook a quick meal for everyone, and
Give me a perception check. Everyone.
Perception. Okay. Nice.
I'm just happy I rolled well for once. it's been like a good week or so.
Arden and Raja, over the evening, you do hear things outside the cave above you, scrabbling around, attempting to sort of like. It sounds like something is up above where you are and around the area where you killed these guys. Anything you want to do? Would say like very dead, like 4 a.m. There's definitive noises of something scratching around up there.
Well, I know I would have.
And it's just at where the bodies were that we hid.
It sounds like it's coming from the same place that you heard the voices, right? So you guys are able to pinpoint it pretty well.
Yeah, just let everybody know. And
Should we
if they start coming towards us, then I'll set up some defenses. But I'm assuming maybe do we want someone to go take a look, or are we just hiding out?
I'll step outside and take a look, I guess.
You should take
Wanna send Lash with you?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Give me stealth checks.
Oh shit.
Unless you're not stealthing, you're just wandering out.
No, yeah, I'm just quietly stepping out the front door to try and... I'll walk across to this side so I can try to get a line of sight and see what's up here.
Give me perception checks, both of you, as you guys creep out. And you can hear some scratching, some weird noises coming from directly above where the cave entrance is. Where are you going, Lash?
Good question. So I just rolled really bad on perception. I was going to ask if I could sort of pinpoint. I will try to come up from over here where I've repositioned myself.
Yeah. You probably, Raja, you're a little too far away with your human eyes to see in the dark. There's probably maybe there's no real moon starlight, and so you just cannot make out what's up 60 feet above and a little ways over the lip of the rock up there. Give me a nature check, Lash, because you do make out something in the darkness. It's still pretty far.
It's the green dragon. We're fucking dead.
You're all dead. Oid finally caught up with you.
Yeah. I mean, Walter's fine. He's just like, hey, man, I don't know these guys.
I'm sorry, guys, but apparently I'm a city bird because look at that nature check.
Yeah, not sure what's going on up there. There's definitely something up there scratching around, but you're probably gonna have to get closer or just.
I'm going up.
Just all right.
As soon as I discern that I can't discern anything, I'm climbing up.
Give me
Legally as possible.
Cool. Yeah. Give me another stealth check as you climb up,
Okay.
and another perception check.
Can you just get a +10 on your perception too? Like, oh, you're already even 8 on your perception. Holy shit!
Expertise is a broken skill, Jay. You know this.
Oh my god, man! Fucking rogues.
Ahead of you, there is a particularly large, particularly kind of hairy-looking, 8-legged spider digging a hole. And it's gotten like it's digging pretty hard, and it's scratching and digging this hole into basically the area where you guys had killed the guys, like around this area here. Beyond it, you see another
No, there's more
massive, massive sort of like brown and orange colored sand spiders. You don't know what they do or anything, but they're digging
Okay.
into the sand.
I'm going
See anything up there?
I'm gonna scrabble back down a little bit because I do not want the chance of them hearing me. And walk up to Raja and try to remain composed. Yeah, they're enormous. They're spiders.
Big spiders?
Big, really big and hairy. And they're digging.
Cool. Raja starts climbing.
Yeah.
Wanna take a
Raja,
look?
give me a nature check with advantage.
He's never seen a spider in his life.
Not even a
You've never
house
seen a
spider.
sand spider.
That's
No.
why he says cool. He's like, I've never seen a spider that big. And he starts climbing up.
Yeah, and yeah, give me a stealth check to climb up and not be immediately in. Yeah, you guys now on the edge, you can see these things. They're like burying themselves now. They've started to cover themselves in the sand, and then the sand area where they are, you can sit and watch them for a bit if you're interested in just watching them, unless you're trying to do anything else mental, Raja. You can
He just
sit
wants
and
to watch.
Yeah, and
See
you
what
just
they're
see
doing.
them like they bury a huge hole with all their big 8 legs going, and then they cover themselves in the sand. And then a little while later, it just looks like no spider is there, just a flat area of sand.
Horrifying.
Yeah, he'll just turn to Lash and say, now that's nightmare-inducing right there. That's pretty terrifying. Just imagine the entire desert, everywhere you go, you could be stepping on a spider.
No.
Oh,
Ugh. I don't even. Maybe we shouldn't tell the others. Walter's not doing well anyway.
He'll be
Ugh.
fine.
But if he thinks that he could step on a, plus his leg's gonna be dragging. And I'm like visibly shivering here. I'm gonna scurry down. I'm done watching this. That's.
Well,
Mhm.
as far as his leg goes, just have Arden cast heal on him before he goes to sleep, and when they wake up, they'll both be back to full.
I hope.
I only saw 2 spiders, right?
Until you didn't see them anymore.
Yeah. We just have to be careful because these 2 probably aren't the only ones. If they're indigenous to this region, it means they could be everywhere.
Oh, that's bad. That's bad. I don't think I'll sleep now. I'll take the watch.
Okay. Roger just goes inside and
There are
Just-
many things
oh.
in the desert that are as horrific, if not worse. I'm sure Raja's seen them. Yeah,
It's more like if it's an undead or a demon, he wants to pursue it with vicious determination. And if it's anything else, he's just like, wow, that's cool. And then goes back to sleep.
yeah. So, presumably, you guys then just rest up for the rest of the evening.
Yeah.
The you don't hear any more sounds coming from up above, and you don't suddenly find yourselves being dragged out of the cave by a giant spider leg or anything like that. It seems like they're
on
not
my
disturbing
watch.
you, and you are not disturbing them. So, but you are aware now that there is 2 giant spiders under the sand above you. Morning comes and goes because you guys are probably going to set out at the same time, which I think was around 3 p.m.
Yeah.
Afternoon has passed, and yeah, the next day, maybe Lash and Raja climb up the mountainside again and look over and just see. And it doesn't look like the ground has been particularly disturbed, and there's no holes, so they're probably still there. But they're not just sitting there waiting for you or anything like that.
How
other than that,
large were they exactly?
they're like the size of a horse, kind of like giant spider horse-sized, 8 legs, speckly legs with
So
big
the size
orange
of a
and
horse,
brown
not the
hairs.
size of a truck.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is slightly better.
With its legs like all spread out. it'd be
Well,
the
no, I'm
size
just
of a
trying to
truck,
figure
I
out if
guess.
this is like some colossal, like 3-story tall spider. Are we talking like Dark
No.
Souls boss spider, or
No,
are we
no, no.
talking like?
Underdark.
Talking like big, like if you sat on its back, it would be similar to riding a horse or something like that. But it would also be terrifying and horrible.
I'd like to roll a drow right now.
Yeah, yeah. I'll
The
just
drow
tell
might be able to do it.
if we go up there and take a second look in the morning, I'll just tell Lash. You saw how big they were. They probably eat enough food off of one catch, live for weeks, and then they'll just wait under the sand for someone else to cross the same way.
Well, how are we gonna? Maybe we should watch and see.
I wonder.
Do they need air holes?
I wonder if they chose that spot because that's where it found the other bodies. So maybe it's like a learned behavior. Now it thinks this is a path that humans will take, and therefore that's a good spot to intercept more. They could be really smart.
But how
Giant, intelligent, invisible spiders. Isn't it awesome?
No. How are we gonna avoid them?
Just not go up there and climb back down.
The whole time he's climbing down, all he hears is but there could be more.
but
But-
he's just he seems not even remotely concerned and just climbs back down.
Suddenly, she wants to be carried over the sands.
Yeah. I
Uh,
really want to fly.
now you really need to be able to fly. All right. So, presumably you guys avoid.
You said that like there is no discernible difference in the sand, right? They camouflage themselves completely.
Hmm.
Those bastards.
So like even with a high perception check, we wouldn't be able to spot it.
You might see that the sand is slightly disturbed. Maybe by daylight you can see a little area where it's like, this looks a little obviously disturbed. But sand is sand, right? It just looks like a
Right.
mound of sand, so it's
I'll
naturally quite easy to cover itself.
I think Russia will get to his senses almost all the way back to the cave and go, wait a second. I should probably take advantage of this moment. Go back up there one more time and just kind of like carefully look to see if there's any way to determine that there's this like I'm gonna try and see if I can tell where they are, knowing the general vicinity.
All right,
And-
give me a
and-
stealth check first
Okay.
to not fuck up,
And it begins.
and then give
So
me
it begins.
yeah, give me I guess an investigation check, something intelligence based, to just look it over. I'd say it's extremely difficult to like work out anything about this, but compared to the areas of sand that are nearby, this is clearly slightly more disturbed sand, and it's even more difficult for you to work out because of the fact that you guys have already disturbed the sand around it anyway by moving dragon bodies around and covering up the blood and things like that. But like where it is, there's an obvious kind of like circular shape to the burying of itself, where it's obviously used all of its 8 legs to dig down and then covered them all back over itself. So it's not a guy with a shovel or anybody coming on over and flattening the area down. So there's like an obvious kind of like dip in the sand, roughly the size of what this spider was, kind of like a horse size but more circular shape. It'll be very difficult to see depending on how long it is able to stay under there or how long it has been under there. But with these two particularly, you can see that there's like a blah, 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 and then a small dip and of like rough sand that you might make out if you were walking along. You go, hang on a minute, that's a big sort of like horse-sized circle. What is the width of a horse and the length of a horse? The length, actually.
We could just say like 5 feet. 5 feet's pretty big in
Oh.
this game.
A horse would be
Yeah.
like 7 feet.
Yeah.
A
Yeah.
horse is longer than most humans are tall.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
7.
In terms
Oh.
of how this is as a creature, it's large as well. So we'd say like 10 feet.
Oh.
So we'll say like a 7-foot circle circumference radius. With this sort of kind of obviously circular shape. But although you are aware, it'd still be very difficult to spot. But now whenever you see one, you might think twice about going near it. Could just be a natural
Okay.
thing. It could be a sand spider
Giant spider.
hiding.
Lash is down
Great.
60 feet below me still, right?
Yep.
And I probably can't yell out to her without these things hearing me, so I'll just climb down.
Yeah, you could wave out to me. I'm probably staring up where you've gone.
Okay, well, you see Raj at the top of the cliff going, like, climb back up.
I'm coming. And trying to be sneaky. What'd you see?
Look, and I'm just going to point out the circle, like the circular area. We can see them, sort of.
You can.
So now you know what to keep an eye out for next time you're scouting ahead. And then I'll climb down.
I'm just kind of nodding and smiling, like, like now I have something to focus in on.
You have the knowledge now.
Yep.
We have the
Uh,
technology.
We can avoid the spiders.
We will still get killed by spiders. And
Uh,
then one's gonna possess BradWOTO.
yeah, I mean, it all depends on what you roll, really. Avoiding the spiders, I assume you guys set out for the day.
Yes.
So we'll do your daily checks
Oh.
to move west. You guys are going west. Yeah.
East.
Oh, I am gonna. I'm
East.
gonna.
going
Yes,
west.
I can tell my east
West.
and west.
Don't worry.
How many arrows did these guys have on them? The archers, because I want to take one of the longbows.
Oh yeah, you can take a full quiver, which I think is 20.
Okay.
So they would have 40 in total if you want to take both of them and ignore the other longbow.
I guess
Longbows
it
are big and heavy and encumbersome.
Yeah, I guess it just depends on if the others are using it. But since I'm running out of bullets, I should have some other option, right?
Mm.
So I'll grab 20 arrows.
Yeah, you guys are free to take a longbow. I guess Carlias probably would benefit from taking the
have
other one
a,
if you want it.
I mean, I could take it just to take it, but I have to cross.
Lash would do more damage with a longbow than a short bow as well. Well, actually, she
Right,
might
but
not.
isn't-
She might not know how to use it. Actually, I
Is
don't
there a
think
thing-
rogues.
There's a thing with rogues and longbows, right?
No, it's
Okay.
elves and longbows, and every rogue is an elf. But she's a Kenku, so I don't know if she gets longbows for free.
Gotcha.
That's what I mean. Yeah, there's a reason rogues don't usually use longbows. I thought.
The rogues don't have martial weapon proficiency by default. That's why people make elven rogues so they get longbows.
There you
I
go.
will snag those other 20 arrows if nobody is taking them.
Yeah, take 20 each.
Sweet.
We just had a rest, right? So I can use hit dice.
Yeah, you guys
that
are.
was a
You
long
don't need
rest.
hit dice. You've had a long rest. You've got full HP. You get half your hit dice
Nice.
back. In fact, you'll get your full hit dice back because you've had 2 long rests without using any, and you'll have your full complement of spells and everything. You guys are fucking good to go. You're all. None
Yeah.
of you've got exhaustions or anything like that. You're ready to rock
So
and bounce.
we're going east and then northeast to Yellowrock. Yeah, that's still the plan.
Yep.
Fuck yeah. we roll?
Heading out.
Yep.
Yeah. We'll pack up for the day.
All right. So who's doing what again? Remember that there is the options to remind everyone. Navigation, somebody who's just ensuring that you head east, sort of stay on track kind of thing. A scout, which is somebody that is looking around for enemies, creatures, keeping an ear to the ground for attacks and stuff like that. There's somebody who needs to forage, which is essentially find water at this point. Although you do have 3 extra water skins.
Well, I think
So remember that.
me and
Uh,
bro that are
We
figuring
were
out the direction.
navigating. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
because
think
we've
so.
been
if you're
doing
sticking, if you're
Yeah.
sticking with what it was, it was you 2 doing navigation, Carlias and Lash doing scouting, and Raja hunting for small lizards to eat and finding the long-stemmed cacti in the region and making sure they're not the poisonous ones and filling up water skins throughout the day. Again, these are checks that take place it's just for the entire day, so it's a very general check for a period of like an 8-hour
Didn't
walk.
you say we had the water skins from the bandits?
We have 3 more.
Yeah, that's what I said. You got 3 more.
So
I
we had our
marked
own.
this.
We had our own 5, and we found 3 more. So we
Yeah.
have 8. So basically, if I screw up the check, we go through 5 of our waters, and then we only have 3 more. So if I screw it up twice in a row,
Then we're
then
fucked.
2 people get to dehydrate.
Yeah. I've marked it that we have 8. Don't worry. I will be our pack meal, guys. Don't worry. I got
You
this.
are the keeper of things.
The keeper of the let's get a bag of holding soon. Let's
Yeah.
I'm feeling like
Okay.
Samwise Gamgee with 4 times the backpack right now.
The bag of holding is coming for you.
It's the McLotion.
It's the
We'll
McLotion
never
of all.
find it. Yeah, so
all right. So
Tenchi and I are
Tenchi,
navigating.
So Arden and Walter.
Hmm.
You mean navigation checks? So that's survival checks.
Can I Tides of Chaos that?
Can if you want.
Arden's got
Thank
a
you.
21.
No, it's still we both add up, Brad said.
Oh, really?
Or not we
No,
both
no,
add
no,
up,
no.
but we both
No.
the better we both do, the less chance we have of fucking it up.
No,
So-
really, one of you just has to not fuck up.
Really? Okay.
Yeah,
I'll still
the-
Tides of Chaos. I don't care.
The way that I generally approach travel is that like you can just have one person do the navigation, but then that lowers your odds of successfully doing it, I guess. You know what I mean?
Oh.
So you could have all of you doing it, and then as long as one of you knows the direction, you'll be able to go the right way. So it's like you could have 4 of you navigating and 1 of you foraging, and just hope that nothing fucking runs up on you. But if you don't pre-scout something, then it will get like an instant surprise attack and all that sort of shit on you and things like that. And there's also a higher chance that you'll encounter something, because you've also been real lucky on the monster encounter roll that I do versus the DC of the scout check as well. So you haven't really run into anything yet, just from me being like, oh, there's a fucking bunch of spiders under you. Cool. Until the nighttime. But yeah, as long as one of you makes the check, you're good. All right. So yeah, you don't have to always have. It's not me adding it up. Walter is like, east is that way, pointing north. And much like the previous day or the day before, when Arden did the same thing, and you corrected him, like, no, look at the sun, look at where we are, look at this thing, and the bit it's that way. And working together throughout the 8-hour journey, you're kind of like mostly relying on Arden, who seems to be whining slightly less, because that's all he did last week, right? Was whine. This
dry
week,
and it's hot though.
he's whining a little less and focusing a little more on task, and he manages to keep you on route east.
Cool.
Scouts, give me perception checks. There we go. I thought they were both 10. The keen eyes of Lash. Do they spot anything? No. Your keen eyes checking, maybe hyper vigilant after the encounter with the spiders or seeing them bury themselves. You're checking the ground, looking for these kind of like circular dips that might be ahead of you, but you guys are pretty clear
everywhere.
It seems like very clear traveling for the day. And Carlias, you're looking too. You don't see anything, but realistically there was nothing to see. It's just walking across sand. You might spot a couple of things in the distance, but you know, like there's this big thing flying through the air, but it's going away from us, so it's cool. We'll just keep an eye on it, and it just doesn't come back. Nothing seems to be close enough for you to even need to avoid it. And you successfully continue to guide the party with the others. Raja, give me a survival check for foraging. Nice. Loaded dice here.
I know how to find cactus.
Yeah, it's just Raja rolls.
Again, yeah, very easily. During the 8 hours, you find 1 or 2 of these particular cacti that you're able to cut correctly and draw the fluid from to fill everybody's water skins up, so that because everybody's consuming at least 1 water skin a day, you're able to replenish that before successfully making it to the next section, just way out in the middle of nowhere now. And as you guys find an area, I'd say Lash and Carlias, you attempt to find some sort of like cave system or something like that, somewhere very nice and easy to settle down. But this is actually like very flat. It's just sand dunes and sand banks now. Ahead of you, as you start to head northeast, Raja's aware that it starts to get a little more rocky, and it's where those cave systems start to prop up, which are deep enough to lead into the Underdark in some areas. But for now, you're out in the last little bit of the like true sand dune-y, true desert-y portion of this travel. And yeah, it's more of just a matter of finding an area where there's enough sand dune around you to cover maybe the fire, or if you wanted to stay up higher to give yourselves a better view. You can find somewhere safe as long as there's nothing under the sand coming up to get you, which I'm sure you're all scared of now, and you should be, because there is stuff. But there isn't like a cave this time, but you can find somewhere that seems safe enough. Raja probably seems happy enough with it to have everybody settle down, roll out the bedrolls and chill for the evening, start a small low fire, cook up some food, and settle down. The last thing I need, just as you all settle down, is to see how you're all feeling. Can everybody give me a con check? Because we have the heat stroke check basically for traveling throughout the day. And
Are we still
looking
getting the bonuses?
Oh, look, the whole party died.
you do get the 1d4, remember, to all your checks, yeah.
I'm
if you
gonna
want
Tides of
to.
chaos that one. That is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we're not.
Sure.
No. Yeah.
Even with the 1d4, if I got max, it would still only be 10.
I'll
And the DC for this is like 12 or 14.
I'll take a 9 over a nat 1.
So, roll me a d100 as you sit around the campfire. 89. Depending on what this is,
Let's see.
might kick off some other bullshit, by the
Watch
way.
it fire. Watch it be self-targeted fireball.
It's not. Self-targeted fireball, I think, is like 30-ish.
This is self-targeted colossal spider.
Hold on, I'm pulling it up. 89. You become invisible for the next minute. During that time, other creatures can't hear you. The invisibility ends if you cast an attack or a spell.
Well, let's see.
Are we even like
Arden.
surprised anymore? He turned into a sheep last night.
What? First of all, tell me what your contracts are. Just shout them out on me.
9.
23.
9. 33.
6.
24.
8.
23. 8. Carlias. 12. So Carlias and Lash are okay. They're actually the ones who had heat stroke on the journey so far, whereas nobody else did. And now the rest of you are very worn out after this travel. Maybe just pushing out over these flat sands and just there's no cover, there's no respite. You can't find a little spot under an alcove or a cropping somewhere. You just hit by the sun all day. Lash and Carlias, for some reason, are unaffected, maybe because they've just gotten over 1 and they were hydrating correctly throughout the day, whereas the rest of you are hit by this heat stroke. So you take 1 point of exhaustion for tomorrow's checks. And you have a heat stroke. As you guys settle down and start to realize probably immediately that you're not feeling great and that you need to very much rest and you've been hit by some form of heat stroke, you need to check that you're hydrating tomorrow to push through the next day's travel. Walter just vanishes.
Where did
I probably wouldn't even notice either.
What?
Walter?
did you?
Yeah. What's
He
up?
Walter.
was just right there.
Yeah.
What the
Walter.
hell? He's not in
Uh,
the sand.
I'm
right
gonna
here.
take.
No, I haven't.
I'm just
No, I'm
gonna
right.
immediately scoop up a handful of sand and
What do you
just
mean?
toss it right where he was seated.
What the fuck? What was that for?
It
What the
hits a
fuck did I
thing and
do?
trails down and thing. There's something there
This-
where he
what?
was.
What the fuck?
Walter,
still-
say something. You
Raja?
all right?
I'm fucking. What do you
Walter?
mean? Hello?
I'm gonna throw something at
Walter.
it too, just because it looks fun.
Balgaresh, do you see this? Do you see this shit?
What? Yeah, I tell you what's happened, mate. You've turned yourself invisible
Walter.
by accident.
Oh, really? Oh.
You
Yeah,
there?
it happens sometimes with me as well when I'm walking through the desert and I
Hey.
don't drink
Yeah.
proper.
I'm grabbing him
Whatever.
while the guy's
What?
talking to him. Hey,
Listen,
say something.
Why can't they hear me though? What's going on?
I don't know. It'll wear off. They always
I can
wear off
feel him.
after a
He's
little
here.
while.
He's
How
just
long
not
is it?
saying anything
I'm-
for some
I don't
reason.
know.
Hello?
Maybe you gotta slap him. Slap him
Hey,
a couple
just-
of times.
no,
Throw
don't
more stuff
slap
at him.
me.
Walter.
What? Why would you
I
stop?
smack him in
Ah,
the face.
Why? No, but Raja,
Walter.
I'm gonna start fucking smacking him back.
Hey, okay. Walter, we can't hear you
I-
if you're saying anything. We can't.
I'm just
Are
gonna
you
like pat and just like hit him and then just like just tap 1. Like give me a minute. 1 minute. Just one.
one more?
One-
Okay.
Oh fuck.
As just as his hand is about to hit you, you come back and he just smacks
Oh.
you across the head.
Hey, you were right. It only
Oh.
took one more. There we go.
There you go.
You-
Yeah.
Wow,
I've never
okay.
seen that one before. I've seen the sheep. You did that like 2 years ago. I don't think I've seen that one.
What the hell is going on with that?
I'm gonna
Here,
out
where's
loud just thanks
Steve?
Balgaresh. Thanks. Oh.
Yeah, you're
Huh?
welcome.
You guys
Don't
can't
worry
hear me?
about it.
My name's not. Who's Balgarish?
You're talking
Oh,
to
my bad. Sorry, I meant Raja. Sorry, Raja. Long day.
Oh.
Wait, didn't Carlias hear the the bandits say Balgarash?
Some of you did. I can't remember who got the.
Oh yeah, did we ever hear his name?
Someone
just
did.
said
I
it.
think Lash was one, but I don't know.
And he
Who
was
else?
like, no, I'm talking to Raja.
But like
Um,
you guys heard them speaking. One of them referred. The other cultist spoke to Balgaresh while he was doing something, and they were like, "They're supposed to be here, Balgaresh, whatever." So some of you are aware. It was whoever heard the
Oh,
bandits
I
last
definitely
week.
heard it. Yeah.
Yeah, so
I can't
I'm
remember
just,
who rolled those.
So what happened? What did I just went invisible?
Yeah, you turned
Whoa.
invisible and
And
then
then-
you weren't saying anything.
That's
When-
new. And you couldn't hear me because you were like talking to me. You couldn't hear me at all?
No,
Not
we
a
couldn't
word.
hear you. And when you came back, you called Raja Balgara.
Balgarash is
yeah,
my
no,
middle name.
I'm just tired of shit.
What's your
I'm
middle
gonna start like writing
name?
down immediately, like went invisible, like entirely.
Well,
Just
Yeah.
Yeah, you were
that
gone.
was
Oh.
awesome.
Balgarash is my middle name, which I don't like it when you use.
But
What?
that's what the guy on the rocks said his name was.
It's like Smith. Half of every Sandwalker is named Balgarash.
This is the first time that you're.
Can I do an
guys-
insight check?
Lash
Yeah,
is
give me a
cut off of, like-
deception versus whoever wants to insight his bullshit. Lash believes him. Carlias doesn't believe him necessarily. Seems
Carlias-
like he's
Sure.
Carlos is
really-
gonna walk over and just pat him on the back, but in one of those, I know you're bullshitting.
Right.
I don't get it.
Yeah,
I
don't
just-
worry about it.
And since
What?
Raja can do no wrong, Lash is like, oh.
Why are you guys? I just went invisible. Why are you guys talking about?
You turned into a sheep yesterday.
Yeah, that was. I mean, that's happened before. That's pretty common actually.
I mean, shouldn't we get that checked out?
No,
I know
it's
you turn into a sheep when
it's
we're
fine.
fighting something, and
oh, it's. I mean, that's why.
roast lamb for dinner kind
I,
of thing.
I jumped off the wall earlier. Just you have to. There's a form, and then the form has a certain threshold, and then when you reach the threshold of that form, you get ejected. So, just take a little bit of damage. I'm no longer a sheep.
So you turn into a sheep, I shoot you in the foot. Got it.
Don't shoot me. There's really just there's no
And
need.
Carlos
for it.
walks away.
I told Raja that you guys stop shooting me when I turn into a sheep.
Do you remember about what's it been like a year and a half ago after we did that wagon job?
Yeah.
You cast out one spell and then you couldn't get drunk no matter what you did for like the next 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So sometimes it's not all bad.
Yeah. It wasn't too bad. There was a lot of the shit kicker. I had a lot of shit
That
kicker.
sounds,
that
No,
night.
yeah.
that sounds
Yeah,
rubbish.
we
that
had-
sounds awful. It's just Balgaresh in your head.
Fucking yeah.
Can't
it
even
was-
get drunk.
It was terrible. In
I
my
would've
head,
chucked myself
yeah,
off
it
the
was
cliff.
Didn't you
terrible.
say
It was
you turned
absolutely
into a
terrible.
potted plant once?
Yes.
That
This
happened to me and
is-
all, actually. Yeah, that was awful.
Yeah, no, in my head. Yeah, that sounds. Wow.
Why are you mumbling?
Nothing. I'm gonna go to sleep.
Okay.
I'm
Hey,
tired.
but you.
Oh wait, I forgot. During
I'm
all
just
these
laying
insights
down.
and deceptions,
Literally, oh my god, I felt like for a moment that was what it was like to have someone in your head. It was actually well played. Fuck's sakes.
I was just realizing
yeah.
that with the heat strokes, there's disadvantages, but it didn't actually
Oh,
change
yeah.
the result. I still
Yeah,
beat
it's,
Lash's insight and still lose to Carlias, so it doesn't affect it.
Yeah, you guys can settle down for the evening. I'm not making you roll too much penalties for the sleep side of the resting and stuff because you're 25 from Lash sort of counts still until the next session or next section.
I can just throw something in. Chat's totally right. Lash is the only one that knows Balgaresh's name. Because
Okay.
the thieves can't.
Oh yeah, it was Thieves
Yeah.
Cant. I remember. Yeah. So you heard.
That's why I said
Yeah,
that,
but- But you might. It wouldn't. You probably would have heard. Balgaresh doesn't translate from Thieves Cant, so you guys would have heard the word, but I doubt you
Oh
would
yeah,
have
no,
made
you
it out.
you did say that we all heard the word Balgaresh, but it was just like a random word or whatever.
It would have
Or is
sounded
his
like just
name.
gibberish inside
Yeah.
of the rest of it anyway at first. So I don't know. I doubt anyone would have really picked up on it, other than the fact that because Lash had context, she would have
Yeah.
known that it was a name. Balgaresh isn't like Andrew, where it's just a really common name or anything. It's just a weird. It's a pretty weird name anyway. Yeah.
Sorry, one more question. If we traveling today, do we get to Yellowrock tomorrow, or is that the next day?
No, you'll be
X-wise.
the next day.
Okay.
Actually, let me see here. Where is Yellowrock? Yellowrock is technically in this one
Okay.
because
okay,
it's
cool.
it's over this riverbed. So yeah, you're it'll be 2 days hence.
Okay.
2 more.
Yeah,
days.
I actually rolled that int check to see if I think would Raja figure out that there's a guy inside Walter's head at the moment. But I forgot I got disadvantage to the heat stroke, so I think he's just too busy trying to not dehydrate. He's just like,
Yeah.
oh, whatever. So yeah,
You guys,
he's actually not suspicious at all.
You guys are chilling out to the best of your ability. Those of you who hit stroke probably sleep a deep sleep of uncomfortable sadness. The deep sleep of uncomfortable sadness. All of my sleeps since I've slept in my whole life. The next afternoon, you guys can set out. We might as well just jump straight in and see if you can make it through the next day as cleanly as you have so far this entire journey.
Clean.
Kind of cleanly. You sticking with the same people doing the same things?
Yeah.
Yep.
Might
Cool,
as well.
yeah. You guys pack up and head out. Give me some survival checks.
Tides of chaos.
Walter, Arden. Tides of chaos.
Oh,
But you rolled survival instead of.
yeah, we roll survival for navigating.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you'd
It's,
been rolling perception. Never mind.
No, scouts of perception.
Oh.
What is a 16?
Oh, hey! For the next minute, you regain 5 hit points at the end of your turn. Nice.
Beautiful. Give me a con check, just a completely separate one. Con save.
Shit.
Does that change anything?
Yeah, my saves are +6.
11. Yeah, when
Plus,
this
so
surge-
1d4 if you're getting spammed by Arden.
Oh wait, no.
one is-
Oh, never mind. No, fuck it. Sorry.
Yeah, it's fine. There's a weird, odd part of your journey where you and Arden are not quite sure where you need to go, and you feel the form of Balgaresh while he's speaking to you. Some of your nothing really happens, but your lips kind of don't do what they normally do. So you're just speaking to Arden, saying, "Oh, I think we need to go this way," and Arden saying, "No, I'm pretty sure we're going northeast and it's this way," and you're maybe trying to work it out, make sure you stay on track. And while Arden is correct and convinces you to head northeast, you feel a strange numbness to your lips, like they're not your own for a little while. You're still speaking, but while you're speaking, it's like your lips kind of go to one side for a minute, and you get a little bit of a Cockney twang to your accent, and then it's gone. Very briefly during one of the conversations, around the same time, you also feel pretty good. You maybe stubbed your toe earlier on. Hey, it's healed itself every round.
It's constantly bleeding and healing again.
And then healing itself. You're feeling all right. So some weird sorcery surge thing is happening for a little while during the day, but it doesn't seem to be a negative one. It does seem to be positive. But there is a moment where your lips feel very strange, and it does have that familiar feeling like you had with Raja when he overtook during the fight with the Wraith.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like Balgaresh is trying to do it either.
Okay, that was my first question. Cool. All right.
It just feels like you are unconsciously losing grip for a moment on your own
Heat
lips
stroke
and-
and possessed.
Don't
worry.
And yeah, you
Cool.
You head into the desert while Lash and Carlias scout about and ensure that you guys are perfectly safe. Give me some perception checks, please.
I rolled mine. And then
Scouts.
plus the 3.
Oh, you already rolled it?
I'm
What'd you
rolling it anyway.
You got a
I
25.
got a 19.
22 plus 3, 25.
get? The only non-heat stroked ones very easily spot any threats, avoid any dangerous pitfalls. But again, you're in this very just sandy terrain. It's more of a matter of just kind of trudging through these sand dunes. It's that kind of like Tatooine looking bit at the beginning when they're just wandering through the There's endless wastes of sand, blue sky, blistering heat, and yellow sands endlessly all around you. There really isn't too much to avoid, but what there is to keep an eye out for, you do think you've successfully kept an eye out for and avoided anything that seems dangerous or perilous. And then Raja with the foraging, please give me a survival check.
13.
Ouch. Raja, for the first time, fails to find enough water for the day. The heat stroke kicking his ass. And also probably this part of the journey, there is probably a distinct lack of these very long-stemmed cacti that you're looking for. And yeah, you don't find any water for the day. You probably find the lizards and insects that you've been sort of just bolstering rations with. And you're able to capture a few bits to eat, but you don't replenish anybody's water supply. So 5 of your 8 water supplies are now empty for tomorrow. For tomorrow's journey.
Okay.
And we'll deal with that when we get to it. But yeah, you guys progress. Let's see here.
That's fine. We get to town the day after, anyways.
Yeah, I don't think it'll
So,
matter.
we'll be okay.
Like we're close enough at this point that, like, from Outlander background, I have the basically I can auto navigate
Oh yeah,
to
now you
Yellowrock.
know the way. Yeah.
So I can, like, tomorrow I'll navigate, and the rest of you look for water.
Yeah.
We'll trade
Um,
jobs.
Arden, roll me a d20.
Yeah. Oh.
Cool.
You all die.
Roll me a d5. It gets towards the end of the day when you all start to come together to look for somewhere to settle down for the evening, and Raja maybe kind of spots something that he would recognize as you all come across the fire from last night that you put out. You've wandered in a big circle.
Are
Because
you?
your tides of chaos turned your thing from a 7 into a 7 because it only turned. It didn't give you a.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, and nullified
And
the.
it seems like Arden and Walter have walked you in a big 8-hour circle, like a perfect circle back round to your fire.
Oh wow! Look at that. Somebody already camped here.
Yeah. And it's probably 2 spiders above us.
Hmm.
This looks very familiar.
What do you mean?
Roger's just.
Everyone, give me con checks.
What's familiar about it? I don't get it.
We
There's
went
like
in
a
a
perfect
circle.
water-shaped bum area where it was sat for the evening.
Oh. I'm just gonna look at Arden like.
What?
I'm gonna point at the log that Walter was sitting on when he went invisible. Does that look familiar, or the rock rather?
Listen, Arden, did we?
Listen, all right. I've been to Yellowrock. I can just walk us straight there, and I'm sick of digging up cactus. So tonight, I'm gonna show you guys what they look like, and make you deal with it tomorrow.
Well, why don't we just
Okay.
go double speed tomorrow, and we just get to Yellowrock by the end of the night? We'll just go all through the day. And
Yeah,
we'll
we
be-
could do a
we'll be
double
tired, but if
double marching order.
Arden and I. Man, I told you we should have gone right, Arden.
Yeah, I mean, we weren't doing well out there, so we came back to the last place we knew worked.
But that's not. No, we.
It's safe. It's conscientious.
We'll just see how everyone feels in the morning, and we'll decide if we want to march all day. We could do, we could do a double shift of
Carlos
marching, I
looks at
suppose.
Arden's like, do you even know what that word means?
It's what it's the cat told me.
Great. Just what we need. We got one turning into a sheep and another talking to cats.
We listen, all right. In the navigation crew, we're very attuned with animals. That's how we find the way across the desert. It's led us this far.
Are you sure you know the way?
You will have disadvantage on everything for the rest of the campaign. Start slamming memes in.
I'm just gonna go to bed out of embarrassment.
Be attacked by a bunch of tiny little red creatures out of the night. They run off with Lash. What were your contracts numbers?
19.
17.
Oh,
8.
8,
16.
16. What was
12.
yours, Arda? 12. So, Carlias, you fail. So you've got heat stroke after the day, but everyone else makes it. So anybody that does have heat stroke will lose it now over the night's rest from today, and then tomorrow, Carlias, you'll have disadvantage with your point of exhaustion on any of your checks. So remember that. The night passes again very uneventfully, the same as it was the night before in the same location. Those of you who had the heat stroke yesterday will have a slightly nicer night as you feel a little better by the morning. Other than Carlias, who feels rough, by the time morning comes around, you do only have 3 water flasks thingies. What are they called? Water skins.
Yeah.
Filled. So, someone needs to. Well, the way I was going to do this is that this gives you an automatic failure on your
Failure?
contract at the end of the day.
Can we
Whoever-
volunteer or do we randomly roll?
Well, you've got 5 people and 3 water skins, so 2 people don't get to drink that day. Or like it's just
All right.
that you don't get as much as you
Yeah.
need.
I just won't then.
So you can basically divvy up the 3 water skins.
That's
Eh.
assuming we failed the foraging check today, right?
Well, you failed it yesterday, so it's affecting you today.
Well, we had 8 water skins, so we just used up 5 of them, right? So if we fail again, then we're screwed. Right? Or are you saying
No.
we went through all 5 yesterday and then 3 more?
And that we only have 3 for today's journey.
Yeah, yesterday's were
That's how
the
I'm seeing
5
it.
that you consumed, yeah?
Yeah.
Well,
And
I was
they
under
come
the impression that the water skins were like a buffer zone. Well, I could fail once and we'd use up our waters. But we
Yeah.
still got today, right?
I guess.
Or
let's
are we
think.
already
I don't know.
They
dehydrated?
would have been filled when you left on the first day, and then you drank and refilled them. That's how I'm thinking it,
Right.
right? Because you're not you didn't have them. You drank them during the travel of the first day, and refilled them during that travel.
Right. So each day they're drinking and refilling. So yesterday we drank but didn't refill. So as
Yeah.
we're starting to
So we're starting
I-
today with only 3, right?
That's
Which
how
means-
I'm saying.
which
You
means
wait,
today-
You wait. I'm just doing it from the beginning of your journey being.
Okay.
That's when all of your stuff happens, right? The only carryover is the exhaustion.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So does that mean we take the exhaustion hit at the beginning of the day or at the end?
I think it's at the end because then we'd
or
have
is it if
gone-
we
we'd have
if
gone
we
a whole
succeed-
day without water.
but we're foraging as we go. So if we succeed the foraging check, we dodge the exhaustion, right?
You dodge it tomorrow.
Okay.
This
Alright.
is where your exhaustion's going to start picking up
Gotcha.
because
I
you're
get it. Yeah.
halfway through. So this is where you can start taking more than 1 exhaustion point per day. If
Right.
If you're also failing the foraging check for water, you can get 2 exhaustion points, right?
Okay.
So we can volunteer to take one because I can take a.
yeah, I won't
Pretty
drink
much.
water today either, and I'll take
Same.
another exhaustion.
Gotcha.
All right, cool. That's settled then. That's easy. Thank God we didn't have to like random roll.
Okay.
That would have been terrible with my luck.
So the question is then, because my With Outlander background, I can just auto succeed the navigate roll, right? But that would that would also mean I'm not finding us water. So we need someone else to find water. Probably multiple people to go looking for water if we do it that way.
What is
Or
it?
I can just go.
What is it? A survival check?
You don't even just fail you don't auto fail the thing. You fail the forage check. So ignoring the 3, hang on. Again, this is the thing I did like weeks ago. So I've written this weird. I wrote it in the heat. You fail. This is an exhaustion point that will come from the failure on the forage check. The heat stroke is still separate. It's not an auto fail on that.
Okay.
This would have been 5 fails, right? My brain is getting twisted because I gave you 3 extra water skins off the people.
Yeah.
The
So this
forage-
would have been 5 fails, but we have 3 water skins as a buffer, which
There's
means
2
there's only
fails.
2 fails.
2 people fail the forage
So,
check.
and if we
Even though
forage
technically
today,
the forage check was the thing,
Okay.
the forage check is what's going to impose the exhaustion point on 2 of you.
okay. So just basically when we leave camp the day, we drink water all day. We forage at the end of the day for the water for tomorrow's trip.
Yeah, I
That's the
just need
easy way to explain
write
it. Is that
basically 2 of you are going to take
yeah? Exhaustion at the end of the day.
exhaustion at the end of the day, and then you're also going to roll a
Okay.
contract.
That's fine.
I worded it wrong because I wrote it
Um,
inside of the heat stroke thing for my own notes, and I'm
okay.
dumb. I need to put it under this.
I guess I just had a like bad grasp of how the water skins were supposed to work the whole time, because I figured it was like if we have 5 water skins, then as we go, like if assuming I succeed the forage check, it's like, okay, we found a cactus, let me just chug this water skin and refill it or something like that.
Yeah, but you're not. It's not a thing that you do in 1 minute. It's a
Right.
thing that you're doing over the course of the day. So even though you're taking a sip from the water skin, you're then refilling it from a little bit. You're not getting like
Right.
It's not like 1 cactus equals 1 water skin. Even though that's what we're doing it as on the mechanics. Realistically, if you were to break it down over an 8-hour session, you're finding multiple small sources of water and refilling it here and there until everyone's got like a mouthful here or half a bottle filled there, that kind of thing.
Mhm.
Again, this is what I mean by the generalized check of it being like the generalized RP versus the specific mechanics of it. But if you don't drink them during the day, there's nowhere else that you would have drunk the water. The way I see it, you drink them over the first day. You're not holding them for the next day. Because how would you do that? Numbers.
Sorry, I missed the I missed the question. So which ones are we rolling? Do you guys want to have me do the navigating instead, or should I go back on water duty?
Yeah, if you can auto succeed, you do the navigation. Arden and I can just take over getting water.
Okay, but if you guys
If we
fail the
fuck
water
up,
check,
then we fuck
we're
up.
we're all screwed.
But we have a guaranteed get there, so we can just do double pace right now, take our points of exhaustion, and just get there. You guys all okay with that, or?
I can help with the water as well.
Yeah, I'd say have like
Three
three
of us.
people on. Wait, who does not have exhaustion right now?
I'm
I
fine.
don't.
I just got one.
I'm going to have one, but I don't have it right now.
Oh, right. I don't have mine yet either.
Yeah. So we're
gotcha.
fine.
Only
so-
Carlisle.
Lash, scouts. The 3 of
Yeah,
us get
Lash
water,
Scout,
you
everyone else on
navigate.
water, and I'll just take us to the next square.
Can we go double speed, Brad? You said we could do that, right? We can go.
Do
But
we
we-
really want to inflict another point of exhaustion on everyone?
Well, we just
It
suffer a
doesn't
guaranteed
inflict
exhaust.
the appointment. It ups your DCs for the travels because you're moving quicker, so you're not being as careful.
Uh,
I mean, do you guys want to risk it?
It ups your past DCs.
I think we'll be fine.
Okay. All right, so we're gonna double speed to Yellowrock and try and get there by the end of the night.
all right, yeah, I'll take point and move us twice as quickly towards Yellowrock.
Cool. Still day 1 then. Navigator Raja, give me a survival check.
Do I need to roll it if I already have the Outlander things? Because I've been here before.
Yeah, you need to roll it.
Oh, okay.
You still need to know it's not that specific. The Outlander thing is way too overpowered if you use it like that.
Well,
You
if I'm not going to auto succeed the roll, then maybe I should just go back to taking water then.
What's up
Well,
with Brad
actually,
on how he rules it? Brad, would you just...
Well, actually, even if I were looking for water, I might have failed the roll right there anyway, because I would have had a 14 if it were for water.
I would just say it's a lower DC, right, Brad? For him to
On
the
him?
survival check? Yeah.
He has wait, I think I did write it down actually. Hang on. What was it? I think actually I gave you advantage.
Yeah.
I don't remember where I wrote
It's
it down.
the ranger thing says your group can't become lost except by magical means, and you have excellent memory for maps and geography. Always recall the general layout of terrain, settlements, and other features around you. Rip.
Yeah, no.
Maybe I read it wrong then. Okay.
It's still, yeah, I mean, the general specific thing. Again, we're doing like a specific role. I'll give you advantage though, I think. I think that's fair. This is your job as well. As a sand walker, this is literally what you do. You navigate people through the sand. You just can't, I feel like you just can't do it all on yourself. If you take the whole thing onto your shoulders, they also need to be able to pull their weight.
Pull their
Yeah.
cactus. Find water.
Yeah.
All right.
With advantage, then you begin to navigate the crew northeast. Scouts, give me perception checks. I can't remember who's scouting now. Just you?
I'm just looking
Yeah,
for
just
water.
Lash.
Yeah.
Cool. Lasharoo. Is that an 18?
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. You
Uh-oh.
you start moving people through the desert,
Oh boy.
and foragers give me survival checks.
And use your 1d4s for the love of everything.
Tides of fucking chaos. I don't care what this roll is. Do you want me to do wild magic, Brad, right now, or later?
Yeah. Give me what have we done here?
This is
Who's on-
I'm rolling my 9 into a 20 with Tides of Chaos for today.
Oh right, yeah, cool. Give me the
If you want me to do it now, I
Ti-
can.
Tides of Chaos is just an instant wild magic.
Okay.
which is
Okay.
so broken,
I'm never
but-
100% sure. Creatures have disadvantages on saving throws against the next spell in the next minute that I cast.
All right then.
Wow, that might be the best.
You
wild
better hope you
magic
don't
so
give
far.
yourself disadvantage on your own spell if you
Yeah.
roll another wild magic.
Better hope we are about to fight something.
Lash,
Oh fuck.
roll me a d20.
Oh, okay. I can. Not a problem. Not scared.
Cool.
The other instance, that would have been a very good thing, but it's
Roll me a d100.
okay.
I believe in you.
I got this.
5 flumps appear.
100.
Oh!
Jesus.
Go buy Ethereum right now.
Did I roll those right?
1D 1000, yeah. Or
Pretty good
100,
time
yeah.
to roll them.
Like you can't just.
As
like,
long as you put you can do /roll 20, but you did /roll 1d20, so yeah, it's a legit roll. Yeah.
Oh, she just rolled a 20 and a 100 in
yeah.
a row? What the
If you
heck?
want to be 100% sure, at the top left of roll 20, there's a dice button, and you can just roll your custom dice that you'd like at any time.
We'll find out what Lash did after the break.
Oh god. All right. We'll be back in 3 to 5, everyone. Thanks for watching, and stick with us through the break.
Welcome back to Dustvale. Lash
Oh God.
is
What?
wandering out ahead in the sands, a little bit off and away from everybody else, checking left, checking right, but making pace, making sure that they march ahead. 8 days of travel, skipping 2 of those days and doing them in 1 by running. Not running. You're just doing that like Lord of the Rings thing where they run across the whole world. That weird montage.
Easily,
Yeah.
slightly out of breath, just slightly.
Lash,
Natural sprinters.
Yes.
All that lembas spread.
Lash is slightly less hypervigilant today with what's going on around her. What's this below me? It might be a circle of death. It might not. Oh, that thing that was flying around before, glancing up instead of looking very carefully. Generally speaking, you're doing a good job. Looking left, looking right, and then suddenly you step on something that doesn't seem correct. Something has changed under your feet. Give me a dexterity saving throw.
Okay.
Not
What
good
are these
enough.
fucking rolls?
What?
Does-
Do I get to add the 4?
You go to jump. It follows you up. You see the sand rising up from underneath you, and you easily deflect and jump out of the way as the sand moves underneath your boot. You feel it move, and you jump out of the way, prepared for a spider or something to rush up and get you. And as you look down, you see the sand come up and grab your foot. For a second, the rest of your group see you jump up into the air, and then they see you under the sand in a split second, gone, and then the sand fills up in the space where she was. As the rest of you probably run over to the area where you are, Lash, you hear a voice around you. You are under the sand. You're unable to breathe right now.
Oh my god.
You don't know where you are, but you feel the sand rushing past you as you're being dragged further and further under it. And you hear a voice say, 100 years it has been, and who is this that I find?
What? Who are you? Where? Who
You
are
slow
you?
down. You come to a stop. There's a pocket of air that is produced in the sand around you. Me? Who am I? I don't think I am a he or a her or an it. Yes, perhaps I'm an it. Out of the sand ahead of you, it begins to shimmer and shake. You see some green gems appear, followed by a book. The book shakes the sand off of it, and it's a very ornate-looking, nice-looking book. It looks old. It looks ancient. The binding looks like it's coming apart a little bit. It's brown, and then there are these 7 gems, green, glittering and shining, and they begin to glow and light this dark little pocket of sand around you. And the gems, as they glow, kind of light up as it speaks to you. This kind of book says, well, lucky you are that you found me. Come, touch the stones.
What's gonna happen?
Well, if you don't touch the stones, you're going to run out of oxygen.
Do I feel like can't breathe very well still?
You've got
Does
a
it
minute of
feel like-
oxygen. You have a little fishbowl amount of
Uh-huh.
sand around you, which is being lit kind of green. Your beak is probably touching the other side of it, and then there's this
Gotcha.
book floating ahead of you, just kind of like sat in the sand, like embedded in the sand with these weird green gems glowing and lighting up this tiny little area. You are, as far as you can tell, just way under the sand, buried.
Yeah. I'll touch.
You sort of drag your hand up
Yeah.
through the sand, and it pierces up through this opening, and you touch the stones. Everybody else rushing to the top area of where Lash suddenly disappeared. You just suddenly see her surface, like she's just pulled up from under the water, like under sea. She just bubbles up. A book spills out over one side from you, Lash. This strange tome with these green gems, which now are no longer like lighting up or glowing or anything. They're just like gems that are embedded into this thick, like leather-bound book, very old looking, and Lash just not sputtering, not coughing or anything, just covered in sand, just comes back up out of the sands, and that's all that happens. You seem to be fine. There's no
Is the-
weird.
Is the
Weird
book?
thing.
Where's the
I
book?
would.
Can I
The
grab
book is
it?
right next to her.
The books. The book saved me.
Oh.
I was dead. I fell, and I couldn't breathe, and then I touched the book, and I at this point I'm gonna grab the book and clutch it because I'm afraid of falling back down.
Yeah, it just seems like a book.
So
Carlisle's
guess-
going to look over to Raj and be like, so we've had a sheep, talking cats, and talking books, apparently.
yeah, I feel as soon as Lash disappears under the sand, for once, Roger probably wouldn't be taking it so funny. So by the time you surface again, you'd actually like see he'd be like pulling his arms up out of the sand, like face deep in the sand where he's been like trying to dig down. Just kind of look up and then, how did? What? Just what?
I was.
What happened?
I just fell, and there was sand all around me, and I couldn't breathe. And then I heard a voice, and it said something about it hasn't seen anyone in 100 years, and it was the book.
Whoa.
Gems were
Raja,
all
what the
glowing.
hell is in that cactus
They
juice?
were glowing on the book, and they are those emeralds? And I'm just kind of trying to tell now if I can, I'm kind of a gem thief.
I want
I-
to be like
I
right
promise-
there, right there too. Like, what is it?
I promise I didn't use any hallucinatory plants for our water supply.
Well, yeah, but did you see me disappear?
I was answering Carla. Yes, I saw you disappear. Are you okay?
Yeah. Now that I can breathe.
Do a medical inspection on her.
Yeah. I mean, she seems completely fine. As only a few seconds passed, she just dipped in and then surfaced back up. The sand underneath her would have rose like kind of like flotsam and jetsam for a moment as well as it pushed her back up, and then it just settles down to like a standard-looking sand dune. She seems all right.
Okay, well,
Let me take a look at the book.
you seem all right.
Hey,
Oh,
but
wait,
be
hold
careful
on.
because it glows and it
Can-
talks. It also talks. And I'm
Are
kind
you
of like
touching the book?
shaking a little bit, but I'm handing him the.
I'm gonna Raja, as far as it comes to talking to things, I think I'm pretty good with it.
Yeah,
Let me
maybe a little
see.
too good.
Let me see.
Well, hold up.
If he gives it over, then I'll do something.
Wait,
but-
well, before you give it to Walter, Roger's gonna say, "Oh, hold up," because I found a haunted book a while back, and I want to see if it looks like the same thing. But I think
no.
even on a visual inspection, just by seeing the green gems and stuff, you'd say, "No, that's not the one."
It's definitely a different looking book. It's a very, very old looking book, and it has these gems. They're not huge. They're very small, tiny little gems. Maybe emeralds in the top. Yeah, but it's not that crazy book, the haunted book.
do you hand it over?
This
I would hand it over.
Or-
Yeah, if Raja has already looked at it and then you're wanting to see it, is that what's going on? Yeah, I would hand it over.
Yeah, even
what was that, Raja?
before you'd even hand it over, if you just hold it out, he would just see it and say, "Oh no, that's
okay.
not the one."
But yeah, be careful because it does talk and it.
I mean, yeah.
Walter-
no, I've
Wa-
talked to a
Walter-
couple things.
Yeah, just
up?
go for it.
Well, you've been talking to yourself a lot. And I kind of, it's apparent I didn't really mean to say that out loud.
Well, yeah, I'm gonna roll. What do Arcana or?
What are you trying to do?
I just want to like. What is the book? like-
Are you opening the book?
I'm gonna open it. I'm gonna start
Oh,
like flipping
dear.
through it, paging what it,
Oh,
inspecting
dear.
it. I want to see
Yeah.
what it is.
Yeah, give me an investigation check
Okay.
first.
Ooh.
If something in that book takes you over, I'm shooting you.
What languages do you speak?
Common, Elvish, Celestial, and Deep Speech.
Cool. In Elven, written throughout this thing, you come to realize that that you know what this book is. You can work out pretty easily from flicking through the pages and starting to like read a couple of paragraphs and looking at diagrams and images and things that are in it. It's a very intense looking book, and it's known as the Tome of Understanding. What it essentially is a ridiculous book that you've stumbled upon. It is a book that contains intuition and insight exercises, and its words are charged with magic. If you spend 48 hours over a period of 6 days or fewer studying the book's contents and practicing its guidelines, your wisdom score increases by 2 to a max of 20. The manual then loses its magic but regains it in a century.
The fuck?
I'm just
This is
saying
what
that would
you
be
have found.
amazing for me.
Like, well, this is wow. Whoa.
It's an
What is-
ancient,
What?
powerful book.
Yeah, it's,
What does it say?
It's Elvish, and it's a book about
Understanding everything.
understanding everything.
What do you everything?
Like it's I don't know, just I guess the elves were really they're obsessed with being one and Zen, and they I don't know, haven't you seen Lord of the Rings?
What?
It's really helpful for whoever reads this.
Wow.
Let me take a look.
It's a book of intuition and insight.
everything.
No man, it's about Lord of the Rings. This is the
It's
Hobbit.
about
This is the
It's-
Hobbit
yeah.
right here.
It's a copy of The
It's
Hobbit.
just a copy of the Hobbit. Oh yes, dragons store gold. Wow. Now you're more wise. I handed over to whoever was asking for it.
Yeah, Raja is also fluent in Elven, so he's just kind of looking at it going, huh. Wow. I could augment my own notes with so much stuff from here.
Does anybody not speak Elvish?
I
Carlos
probably do
doesn't.
not.
Carlisle doesn't.
I do not think.
Oh, so it'd be the only people that can read.
The only
Elvish.
people, I mean, the people in the party that would use it the most are a ranger and a cleric. Does Arden
Hmm.
speak Elvish?
Elvish, but I maxed out on wisdom. So
Oh.
I
okay.
assume
You're
Arden's already
okay.
walked on and doesn't care.
he just looks at it and says, I already understand everything, and hands it back.
Yeah, through lore, he's just talking to the cat. He does. You were fine. That's good enough. I don't care what you found.
Lash. They keep saying it's written in Elvish, but it's not. It's written in Common.
So it,
What?
I would. Okay, if they're
It's-
thumbing through it.
Oh, because it like chose.
Yeah,
her?
no, I get it. No, I think it's just read in whatever you are fluent in.
Sure.
Like whatever
Um,
language you speak is how you read it, maybe.
Oh.
You see it as Elvish, Raja. Walter sees it as Elvish. Arden would see it as Elvish.
Cool.
Carlisle can't read it.
Oh well, never
wow.
mind that theory. Maybe it's
looks
just
like-
because it specifically
It's
grabbed
Elvish.
Lash and she touched it.
For Lash, it is in Common.
Huh.
Or maybe Carlias needs to touch it, or maybe it's just specifically because Lash found it.
So
The
if
gems
I'm
are not
Dwarves
looking-
can't
glowing.
read. Come on.
The gems are not glowing as far as everyone's concerned, except for Lash. Lash, if the gems are glowing on the front.
It's so pretty. Wait, it can tell you everything, and do you see the? It's glowing.
Oh, maybe. Oh, maybe she. Maybe it like chose her, and she has to read it.
You guys could definitely use it.
Well, as he's telling her that, Raj is saying,
God.
as, as you're saying, maybe Lash. As you're saying, maybe Lash needs to read it. Raj is just kind of like, I can read it just fine. As he's like, kind of.
Yeah. If you read the whole thing, it would work just as well for you as it would for Lash. It's just that Lash is able to read it.
So I'm probably
If
doing
she
a
chooses.
little bit of a bird thing right now, which is like if he's holding it out, like this, I'd be like looking at the gems, looking under it, looking over, and I'm sure if I look over at the top of it, I'll see to me that it looks like it's in common, and I'll say, I can read it. That's common.
This is Elvish.
Well,
But it says right here, the reader of this tome, blah blah blah, and I'll just start reading
but
it.
only one
Translate
person can read it every century, so
But
or
we
benefit
both-
from it.
No, but she's looking at this sentence right here. It says Galal Nil Nakfan, and she's pronouncing it in common.
But yeah, because it is.
Oh,
The letters must change their perspective based on who's reading it.
well, it's a book about knowing everything, so.
Carlias, what
kinda
does it
makes
say?
sense.
I'm gonna turn it towards Carlias. What does it say?
I got no clue.
You can't read it.
It's
Do you know how to
Elven. I
read?
don't read Elven. I know how to read, dumbass.
Oh, I mean, okay.
Don't know how to read Elven.
I'm just saying,
I'm a
I
dwarf.
know how to read it, but
I read Common, Dwarven, a little bit of Thieves here and there, but
you can read a thief.
you forget I'm a bounty hunter. I gotta learn these things.
But
Well, he that was short for thieves can't.
oh,
But what about Arden? Arden! Arden!
And that is when I became Princess of Delania.
Apparently,
what do
can
you
talk
think?
to cats.
The cat licks its paw and nonchalantly.
I
Walks
agree.
away.
oh my god.
Arden?
I don't.
Yes.
He-
Can you?
Probably.
Well-
Just keep walking forward.
He doesn't
Walter,
seem particularly interested.
you hear a voice in your head say, "Here, let me read it."
In
Go
my
on.
head. Oh, what? What do you mean?
Well, maybe teach me how to come back.
No, it's about elves. You would know. You can see through my eyes. You just saw.
Well,
Yes.
what if I read it and then it teaches me how to
No, I'm okay.
get back to like a body?
No,
Doesn't
okay.
have to be my own.
Listen.
It'd be an elf body.
You can't. No, you can't go back to the body once you've died, man. It's not.
Elves can jump well high, can't they? I wouldn't mind that. Yeah, go on, let me read it.
But you can't be an elf. You're dead. We
Maybe
have to.
this was my destiny.
Okay.
That's what you're meant to do. You're meant to
Mm.
find a book and read it to me,
Okay.
and then I'll become
I'm just-
something else.
I know we still haven't had the the talk, and I'm just gonna like start walking off now. But like, it's you
Walter?
gotta okay. Yeah.
Where you
just
going?
hold on. I've gotta piss. Yeah. Okay.
Can I insight check?
Do you
that?
do you have like a quest that you need me to do or something? Like, is there?
I
want to
insight check him saying he's gonna take a
bit.
piss.
But he's not pissing.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start like walking around the corner and pretend.
The corner of what,
I
Jay?
don't know. Aren't we?
It's
aren't we
sand in
near-
every direction.
No,
That's-
there's rocks and shit.
There's a sand dune that you can hide
Okay,
behind.
then I'll just turn and I'll pull down my pants and just so. Do you have like?
Raj
Is there
appears
something you
over the
always
top.
wanted to do?
Just over your shoulder. Are you really pissed? I'm kidding.
It's like through the legs. Like, I don't see it.
I don't see the stream.
Balgaresh
I mean,
says,
I can deception if you want, but what does he say?
There's something. There's
Okay.
one thing.
Yeah.
One thing that I really want to do.
Okay.
I want to read that book.
Right. Okay. I will. I'll see. Like in entirety.
Yeah. I want to get the magic out of it.
You want to? Okay.
Every 100 years, you get comes
No,
round.
I
That's what
mean,
you
You're
said.
right. I mean, I really want it too, but I don't. All right. I'm
Thing
gonna
probably gives you wings.
zip and turn around and just look at all them. All right, guys. Listen. I really need to read that book.
100-year magic.
Wait.
It's
Can
not-
I-
I
can
really,
I-
really need it.
Lash, hold on to this, but don't read it yet. Just
Well, it belongs to Lash, then it's
yeah,
hers.
yeah.
Oh,
He's handing it back to her. Just here, shiny gems, all yours. Just hold on to that, and then I'm just gonna walk over to Walter and kind of like pull him away from the group. Who's in there?
You know what you should do, Walter?
Who's in there?
You should try and
I know when you start acting
Nobody.
funny like this,
There's
you
nothing.
like cutting yourself off mid-sentence,
There's
talking
no
about cutting
walking off away
slit
from the
their
group.
throats.
What's going on? Who's in there?
Slit their throats in the
Hey,
night.
Lash,
Take
what
the
the hell
book.
is going on with this?
We can
Are
make
you there?
fun.
Hello, Walter.
You get a pretty
Listen,
penny for that.
listen.
Sell that to the right geezer.
See, the
Okay.
fact that you're not answering
right,
me right
all
now,
right,
I
all
know,
right,
I
all
know
right,
that
all right.
you're
Hold
hearing
on.
two
You shut
conversations
up
at once.
And him shut up. Okay. One of the dudes from the party, he jumped in my head. He's a good one. He's fine. I thought this one would be okay. I thought I could handle it, but his name's Balgaresh. He's fine.
Yeah, that's not my middle name.
He wants me to read the book.
No, I
He's-
want to read the book.
Oh,
Oh, you.
He
book?
wants
I
to read
want
the
to
book. He wants to read the
Or
book
us.
while
Are
I
we
read
like
the book.
one thing now, or what?
No,
So he wants to read the book, and then that's
Listen,
what.
we might
no,
contact-
absolutely
take
not.
him
He's
to
probably
go
trying
on.
to screw us
With that-
over because we killed him in his group.
No, he's
We'll become the
actually
most
he's
powerful
totally okay
duo.
with it.
They
he
wouldn't
was-
even know what it
He
is.
was pretty thankful that we killed him.
He was thankful that we killed him.
It's so fucking hard. Yeah, no, he was thankful that we or not thankful, but I mean he didn't really care, right, Balgaresh?
I was thankful. I mean,
Have you
people.
have you
die.
heard
Hold on.
yourself lately? You're telling me that he doesn't mind. Are you actually like holding your finger
Yeah,
up?
I'm like, hold on.
I'll stop while you're listening then.
What do you want?
I asked you a question.
What?
You don't really care that you're dead, right? You're not gonna like try and possess me and I mean,
Wait, is that a thing I can do?
no, it's not.
This is our body now, is it?
No.
I just sort
No,
of
no,
thought
no,
it was
no, no,
yours,
no,
and I
no,
was
no.
tagging
It's-
along
you're
for
a
some
visitor.
reason.
There's rules. You're a
But if I
visitor.
can take over,
Are you talking to him out loud?
Yeah. I'm just that you're a visitor, and there's.
He doesn't know that he can like.
I can walk.
Right.
Okay, listen, Raja, you're not helping, and I need the book.
I'm
Yeah,
not.
that's right.
No, we don't want
Take the
him
book.
reading the book.
Take the book from their cold dead fingers, and we'll sell it on.
That book could. That
even
book could
need
honestly be really useful to me or Arden.
I know, but I'm already sick of it, and I need to get it done. So otherwise, we're gonna have to do.
You
it.
want to waste it on some voice in your head from
Well,
a dude
no,
that we
he
just killed
doesn't.
yesterday
I still
after he
get
tried
the-
to ambush us in the desert.
But I still get. I'm reading the book, but he has to see it through
I am
my
actually
eyes.
a low-level sorcerer voice in your
I
ears.
really don't.
So I still get the benefit, but he, you know. I'm gonna, Valgaresh, do you speak Elvish?
No.
Okay, and then I'm
What
gonna
do you
start
think, I
speaking
grew up
Elvish
in
to
a
him.
palace?
I'm gonna start speaking Elvish to him, to Raja, and I still get the benefit, but I just need him to think that he's read the book through my eyes, and then he can move on because he doesn't stop talking. He only
I
talks
know what you're
when
saying.
other people. He only talks when other people talk, and it
You're
just
saying
really
you're
doesn't
going to
help.
try and expel me before I learn how to take over your
All
body,
right,
and you?
for a moment, he told me that he knew what I was saying, so I was really worried. But otherwise, we're gonna have to do it the dirty way.
Either that or you're
Just in
saying
case.
poem.
Just in case he
It always
speaks
sounds
Elvish.
like a poem, doesn't it,
Hold on.
Elvish?
What other languages do you speak? There's got to be one we have in common that he doesn't.
Deep speech and celestial.
You know, deep speech.
I don't know those.
I'm saying that in
How come
Elvish.
I landed myself inside?
We're still talking in Elvish,
We're
right?
still talking in Elvish. Does he still say that?
Do you know deep speech? I'd like to learn that.
Fuck.
So he does speak Elvish.
Oh fuck.
What's he saying?
He's asking if I know deep speech.
How does he know you speak deep speech? Unless he speaks
I
Elvish.
don't think so. I don't think he knows. I think he was just asking if I know deep speech.
I'm gonna wander over at this point. If they're just over there, there's no.
we're just talking
Well,
in
we're,
Elvish.
we're
right now.
arguing in Elven at this point.
We just oh
Wait.
hi
What?
oh hi Mark.
Ma-
I'm
What?
looking
Lash.
behind.
Why'd you call her?
Does she
What?
still look like Tommy Wiseau?
No.
Fuck. It was a bad joke.
No, well, no. When you call her Mark, I'm like, yeah. See, he gets names mixed up. That's why he called me
Yeah.
Belgaresh earlier.
But Belgarash is your middle name.
Correct, and he got my middle name and my first name backwards.
You're really again in Elvish. You're really not. She doesn't believe it, man.
My middle name's not Mark. by
Okay,
the way.
she
I'm
heavily
pretty
believes it,
sure.
but you
Like,
don't need.
I'm
to
still speaking Elvish. Still speaking Elvish, but Lash, do you speak Elvish? Like, I'm asking in Elvish if she speaks Elvish.
And I'm just doing
I don't
this.
think she speaks Elvish.
I don't think she speaks Elvish. Listen, she'll just believe whatever I tell her. I think.
I'm gonna Lash. Do you know that once Raja was eaten by a purple worm?
It was really nasty.
In common. I'm saying that in common.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, okay.
Yeah, back in common again. Yeah, it was really nasty. I had to cut my way out of that thing.
Eaten?
With a butter knife.
Was it in the desert?
Yeah, they come up out of the desert usually late at night and only in the winter time. Just because there are certain points during the winter where deep under the sand, it's actually colder than the surface.
Can you tell if
it's-
they're coming?
Well, we'll be fine out here. But yeah,
sneaky.
like sometimes during the winter, just to get
Won't
away
be
from
any-
the cold, they
don't
actually
worry
come
about
up to
that.
the surface because the surface is
Won't be any
warmer. And I got eaten by one of them because it was looking for
gotta
some
worry
warmth, and
about
I
purple
had to
worm.
cut my way out with a butter knife.
Not in
Oh.
August. It's the
Well-
Sathok worms you got to worry about in August.
And then in Elvish, to Walter again, yeah, she believes it. I think she'll
Yeah.
just believe anything I
No.
tell
Should
her.
I remember the fire?
Yeah.
Well, that's what was happening. I was setting up the campfire when it came up, and it just like swallowed me and like the campfire, everything all at once.
Oh. I'm looking at my feet.
Yeah, so Lash, I really need that book.
What do you?
Carlisle is gonna walk over. What the
Wait.
hell is going on
We're
here?
just talking about the book.
We gotta get.
Wait, what?
Why do you want
Why
the
do you-
book?
I
Read the book.
really need to read the book.
I'm
Why?
I have
back to Elvish. You don't need. First off, I think I would benefit from it more than you would, and secondly, you're just doing it to satisfy this voice in your head. What do we care what he thinks?
I mean,
Tell me why you need the book and stop speaking in Elvish.
It's
That's Elvish. I thought it was just.
It's not.
like
Wait,
still
flowers.
speaking in Elvish. There's no way I can explain to her what's going on in
Right.
English without blowing our cover,
We
or in
really
common
have-
without blowing our cover.
yeah. So we're just arguing over the book because we both want it. Should we just roll for it? Do we do a?
It's lashes. It saved her from the sand.
Hey,
Did you say that in
dwarf,
common, or
we're
did you say that in
we're
Elvish?
Speaking in Elvish. Thank you, dwarf. And then back to the comment. Never mind. Okay. All right. I don't need the book. And then I'm gonna Balgresh. I can't. Sorry, bud.
Don't worry, we could just get it in the night. Honestly, just a swift cut to the throat. It gets them right there,
Okay.
just
I
bleed
mean,
out.
Yeah, no,
before
I'll
they
keep
even
that
know
in
what's
mind.
going
Yeah.
on.
Uh huh.
We're going to sell it. I know,
Uh-huh.
geezer. I know a really rich, probably the richest bloke in Lost Stone. He'd love that.
Okay. Yeah.
I sort
All
of
right.
owe him a favour anyway, so
Yeah.
he'd probably like it.
Okay.
Actually, he wouldn't even know it was me, would he? He'd
right.
think
Maybe
it
we should tell them in
Alright.
Elvish.
Some
Maybe we
random
should tell them what's
traitor.
going on.
I'm gonna
coming
no.
in out of the desert. Just
And
be
then-
like, look,
Just Balgresh.
I've got a nice book for you.
Okay.
He'll know what it is, you know. He's our fault. but
Because
he's-
it's going to be really hard to keep this under
He's
wraps
savvy.
at the rate that
He's
it's
savvy.
going.
Raja, what the
Somebody,
hell is going on?
You
please.
got a knife? Little knife?
I'll say in common, there's a ghost that only Walter can see, and it's yelling at him, and it's messing with his head.
A ghost.
Oh, everyone's hallucinating.
Definitely
Yeah.
take a look.
There's something
back.
in the water, and I'm gonna in Elvish.
Like from in the caves, like in the kettle pits.
Just
Yeah,
in
it might
Elvish.
have-
I'm gonna.
might have followed
They
us.
don't know, and they will not know.
Can I insight check on the Raja though? By the way.
I'm sort of telling the truth. I guess you could tell that I'm leaving out details if you beat my 5 deception. I'm leaving out a detail, but I'm also telling the truth.
Detail.
Right.
I don't understand. Why is there a ghost?
That's it, guys. Sometimes I see ghosts. That's it. Nothing big. Just ghosts.
What?
Can I insight check on Walter?
Tides of chaos.
Yeah, he's telling the
You're
truth.
already beating it by 10. Do you need the tides of chaos?
I did. I looked over and said tides of chaos. I was saying it just in case. Yeah. It was just sometimes I don't know.
You're questioning whether our friend who turns invisible and turns into a sheep can occasionally see a ghost.
Yeah.
Although whether the ghost is actually there, I'm not sure, because I haven't seen it or heard it. So I think he's just hallucinating.
So there isn't really a ghost.
No.
It might not be.
Just a perk of being a sorcerer.
Brad,
Although-
could I argue
Wait,
that
you
last
are
insight?
seeing the ghost.
He's gonna you're gonna be
chocker, aren't you? They're all gonna be inside your head. Is that how it works? Whatever you kill, you absorb its soul.
No,
Like
no,
some sort of
that's not
horrific
that's
demonic
not it,
warlock.
No.
Are you still talking in your head, or are you mumbling out
I'm
loud?
talking in my head. I'm just kind of like looking upwards, annoyed. Just
Could I argue that last insight, Brad?
No, why?
I was going to say, because Carlias... No, argue it to have advantage, because Carlias was wary of Raja when he lied earlier
No.
about the Balgarash name.
Who's the?
No, he isn't. Carlias doesn't know Balgarash.
No, about the name, because I rolled for insight against him when he was...
Only Lash knows the name Balgarash. You didn't know it. No, you can't. It doesn't matter. It's a 7.
Whatever.
What's done is done. We've moved on.
Walter, who's the ghost?
This one, his name is it's Phineas. He's a man from Yellowrock. That's what he told
Oh,
me.
he's from Yellowrock. He can
He
tell us
lives-
how to get there then, right?
Yeah,
You're
yeah,
just like in the desert.
yeah. No, he just walked
Yeah,
by.
I could tell
and
you how to get Yellowrock
he was like,
pretty easy.
"Hey, I'm in Yellowrock."
I could very easily navigate us there. You've really underutilized me, honestly. I'm very familiar with this area.
Well, so you've been acting weird since yesterday.
Yeah. Violence
And you-
kind
and
of
you-
worries me sometimes. It on.
She's starting
me
to wipe
uneasy.
me up. She don't like people that sorcery, does she?
Is
You know,
is
we're
he,
born like this,
fine?
lady. All right, we can't help it if our beard turns to feathers.
Now that I know what's going on with him having multiple voices, Raj's just kind of sitting back and smiling.
Is the ghost following you? Is he?
No. He
Is
just
he
like
here
I
right
said.
now?
He just kind of popped by and he was like, "Hey, I'm Phineas," and I was like, "Hi," and he was like, "I'm from Yellowrock," and
But you were talking to yourself yesterday.
oh yeah.
Is that
How much do you reckon we can sell a Kenku beak for?
a different ghost?
Yeah, it was a different.
Maybe we should chop that
Do
off.
I have
and
to
all-
make
is he
another
giving
deception
any
point at
sign-
this
like-
point, like or
Is he
deception?
giving any signs
This is
of like?
this has gone on for a while.
Yeah, give me a deception versus an insight.
Okay.
Lash.
Lash,
He's
the
clear-
roller of nothing but crits.
He's clearly bullshitting you. Even you know that Yellowrock was destroyed a relatively decently long time ago. So just like,
Wait.
there's
Oh,
details
Zafari.
that are
Yeah.
not making up. No, because he said he was from Yellowrock, and Yellowrock doesn't exist. It's a ruin.
Wait.
It's not one of the villages that vanished. It's one that got destroyed.
Okay.
Like they do.
Oh,
They
okay.
get destroyed and
Wait, Yellowrock isn't a full town?
no, Yellowrock is a ruin
No, it's
of
just
a
kind of
town
massive,
that was it was one of those towns
Oh,
that randomly
fuck.
got pillaged by bandits and all the children became water makers in Loststone.
Oh
One of those towns.
Does
Yeah.
Zafari like vanish off the face of the earth?
Zafari
Yellow
just
Rock
vanished.
clearly just raided by bandits,
Wait.
but still destroyed.
Tuesday. Roll something really quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, you need to stop rolling.
Just
crits.
roll something really quick.
You need to go straight
like
to a
what?
casino after
Just
this.
anything.
Just
'cause
roll
that's your
anything.
fourth crit in a row.
That's quad crit.
Okay, all right.
Alright,
We're fine.
good.
We're fine. We're good.
We
It's
good?
bugged.
You know what? It's okay.
You're so as soon as I realized that, like my face, my expression would just drop, and I'd say, "You're lying."
Yeah.
The conviction in her voice.
Uh,
You're lying.
Yeah,
you
no.
need to kill her now. You need to kill her now, quick. She knows we're onto her. She knows we're going to sell her beak.
You're lying, and I want to know why you're lying.
It was just a joke.
We're gonna kill
Lash.
you, mate,
It was,
that's
it
why.
was
It
just a
didn't
joke.
look like a joke.
It was a really
Slit your
bad
throat and
joke.
take that pretty looking book.
So
I'm gonna get between them and just kind of like put my arm around Lash and start kind of like pulling her away from Walter and saying, "Hey, tell you what,
he was lying, you know.
yeah, he's definitely lying. I'll tell you all about it." As we're walking away, I just like split them up, and then after I get like a good like 20 or 30 feet between us, I'll just turn around and like put my hands on her shoulders. And he really doesn't want the world knowing about his whole talking to ghosts hobby, so he lies about it and tries to cover it up. He's talking to one right now, and he has been for the past several hours. He didn't tell me either, so yes, I know he's lying.
Well, what? Why is he hiding it?
It's just Raja at this point feels guilty lying to her. So he's, would he lie? Let me see. You know, I'm just gonna do. We're gonna find out what Raja would do. Would he lie to her right here?
The beginning of the end as the group crumbles over a magic book.
Yeah, no, he's gonna lie, but you know he's lying. It's a weird habit.
So, you guys don't want to tell us?
Sorry, Walter. The ghost can take over his body. I just hope that ghost hasn't realized it yet. How do you think I came and found you guys after I got killed?
Oh, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, we just didn't want to worry everyone else. But you can't, like, he swore me to secrecy years ago, and I didn't tell you this, understand?
Understood.
Okay. Just,
okay.
if anyone asks, he can see a ghost following him around, and no one else can see it.
Wait a minute. Is the ghost trying to get the book? Because Walter just said, I need the book. I need it right now, the book.
Yeah. It's actually one of the dudes we killed on the cliff back there.
Oh, that's why he said Balgaresh yesterday. It was
My
because-
Lash, my middle name isn't Balgaresh.
Oh. Usually, I'm like reaching for my sapphire that isn't there because whenever I get stressed or worried, I just kind of and it's not there, and I just kind of clutching the book.
Yeah, no, I was trying to cover for him because he was in a rough spot.
I see. Okay, well, I won't tell anyone, but I'm not giving him the book.
I don't really want that other guy to have the book either. I feel like that's probably not going to help us out very much.
And the book's gonna kind of be a big deal until somebody uses the book. And
if anything, I mean, as much as I would love to read it and it would be very useful, Arden should probably be the one reading it. He's our cleric. This is his kind of thing.
okay.
Maybe we should ask him, but if he doesn't want it, you know, I'll hold up all my own personal notes and say, there's a lot of blanks in here that I could fill in out of that.
So you could definitely use it, but we should ask Arden first.
Probably, yeah.
Okay, let's do that.
Go.
No, you could walk over in the middle of our conversation. We've been going on for minutes
No, I was going
now.
to say, whilst you guys were talking, Carlisle and Walter, Carlisle just took out his gun and he's just like spinning it around on his finger. And after Lash was like, "You're lying," he's like, "So,
Fuck.
you want to say what's going on?"
Oh shit!
Nothing. I was just I was going.
You're
walking.
lying. What's happening? Why do you want the book?
I want
You can cast a fireball quicker than he can pull the trigger.
to. In my head, yes, absolutely.
Hold in.
I fucking love him. Listen. Carlisle, there's things that I have,
We need to have honesty between the group, otherwise,
and I
it's
would
not a group.
tell everybody this if it was.
Hey,
anything
Arden's
else.
over there talking to a cat. It's only me and you right now.
Sorry, bud. Raj is the only one that knows, and it's got to stay that way.
I look over at Roger and Lash, and I think Carlisle is gonna be like, "Huh, you're talking a lot over there."
Yeah.
Sure, he's the only one that knows.
Well, I mean, he's not the only one that knows. There's like 3 other people that know, but
There are people. Who?
all of them are dead now.
Immediately, the gun just pointed at him. What the hell are you going on?
No, I mean, the last person that found out I was kicked out of town, so
For murdering them.
all of them.
Kicked out of town. Why?
I just they didn't appreciate it. It's listen, it's nothing. It'll be nothing. It's just everyone's got to have their secrets. I have mine. It's just one. It's just one little harmless thing.
Say that to the old guy that was originally in this group.
Okay, well, I mean, I don't know him, but if you show me who he is.
He
then I
had
can-
his dark secret. He's dead now. It's better we all talk about things openly as a group.
Hmm.
I mean, hell, Strings is dead now as well.
Yeah. Yeah. People that travel with you guys seem to they seem to die off pretty quick.
Welcome to the group.
I know that feeling. 3 of my groups are dead.
It's
At the
cool.
end of the day, we're going to stick together as a group. Honesty will go a long way.
and I'm
Yeah, like staying in the fighting pit instead of wandering off and leaving your
I
group to
told
die.
you I was going to leave after the first round. I was being honest the entire way.
I love that we still fight about that.
Yeah, at least you're honest about being a coward.
yeah.
I
I'm
lived, didn't I?
gonna
And then I ended up dying because of the damn thing in the caves.
taking my
Yeah,
chance
if
and
only
walking
you
away.
had your ranger with you.
If only we didn't have to go into the fighting pit.
Wait,
Some people
we
get greedy and want the loot. But we had a quest to get done.
I've worked it all out now. You're the ones that set off the old Sin River Dragon.
Yep.
How
That was
the
us.
fuck did you get out of that?
We ran. We went into the Underdark. Or wait, no, we didn't. Fuck. That was the
Walter
wrong
would know
character.
that.
Fuck, that was the wrong character. I have no
Arden's
idea.
just angrily meow yelling at everybody from like 100 yards.
Listen,
Arden, what the hell are you doing?
I don't speak cat. Can you stop that?
Meow!
All right, he's
I'm
lost his
holding the
mind.
cat towards you guys.
Duke is
Arden,
meowing.
I have a question.
Meow!
I'm just gonna start walking toward him. Arden, we found a special tome,
Okay.
and it says every 100 years one person can read it, and they will know everything. Would you
I
like to read it?
Not really. It's overrated. The less you know, the better.
So you don't want to read it?
Open up the cover. Ew. Look how it's written. It's like the author thinks he knows everything, and we're not. I knew that already. It's probably just like an appendix with nothing, like a map. You are here. No, I don't want this.
Don't-
Cat, what do you think? Cat doesn't like it either.
Cat
Oh.
Get
licks.
it out of here.
That's the same thing it always does.
Sorry, Duke. And I just tuck the. I say
It's
to
okay.
the cat.
Not everyone can know as much as we do.
Yeah.
You may give it to one of the others. They need it. I mean,
Okay.
we went in a circle last night. Did you not notice?
We
It was weird.
could use this.
I blame everyone else.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna head back over to Raja. Well, Arden doesn't want it, and Walter can't have it right now.
Well, it's your book. You found it. But if you're not going to read it, I feel like I would benefit from it.
I don't want to know everything. That's your job.
Okay. I'll study it in my spare time.
Cool.
All done?
I think we settle down now.
You're keeping going though, I thought. You're not
oh
resting,
yeah.
right?
Well,
You're
Yeah, we're
fucking
still gonna
going.
keep
we
going.
double timed
Yeah.
the Yellowrock.
Yeah, I think Carlos is going to be at the back of the group like, well, whose smart idea was it to go to the fighting pit? Whose smart idea was it to go to the caves? Whose smart idea was it to do this and that and that? And what the hell are we doing with our lives
I
in this
had
journey?
nothing to do with the caves. I was dead.
Listen up! If you don't keep it down, we're gonna attract something awful, like a big purple worm or something.
Yeah,
Purple worm? What the hell are you going on about?
It won't be a purple worm this time of year.
And
No, it'd be a sapphic worm.
there's spiders and
It
just
would be.
keep it down.
I think they can sense footsteps and all, so it don't really matter if you're shouting. Won't matter. Just random in it. Whether you've come across a sapphic worm.
We got Arden talking to cats. We got Walter turning into sheep, going invisible.
You're gonna have a lot bigger
Our
problem
last
if you
group
don't
was
keep
killed
it
by
down.
a mummy. A fucking mummy right out here in the middle of nowhere. Yeah, you don't know. You never know what's coming. Can't worry about that. You just got to keep moving.
Wow.
Do what you can.
That's wow. Yeah. No, I agree.
We're working for a princess that we don't even like. Gods and
What?
what the hell is going on?
I want to yell at him in Dwarven. Will you shut up? You're making too much noise.
Yeah, he is making a
In the
lot of
middle of
noise.
the desert. What the hell could we possibly be making noise for?
There's
What?
stuff that lives under the sand out here that can feel our vibrations in our feet from 500 feet away. You think you're really helping our cause by making all this noise?
There's wyverns and all in the sky. He wants to be watching out above him as well. They can hear pretty good. Pretty
I'll
scary
switch-
when they're flying
I'll switch
down.
back to speaking common and say, let's just go.
Just a constant drone, by the
Please.
way, Walter.
Yeah, no,
Just go.
You're fucking
Let's just
nailing
go.
it.
Like-
You're fucking nailing it.
Like just all
This
all
is-
day, just walking along. And he's got something to say about like. All of it. He probably does go quiet for some
Oh
section
my god.
time and tries to work out what's going on.
It is impressive how accurate this feels right
You,
now.
Oh, and another thing.
You
I
guys,
still got to get a new hat. I lost my favorite hat.
I'm
guys
gonna
need to be-
stroll.
I lost my lucky
Yeah,
coin.
we just keep
con
Actually, I'm gonna
check.
stalk
con
over
checks,
to
con checks.
Carlias.
You still got a con check at the end of the travel
Oh, nice.
before you go into the next one.
Dude, I totally understand how people get paranoid about D&D rolls because I switched over my Roll20 profile and now I'm rolling well. So
Whoa.
I
So many
understand
people
it.
do the whole refresh after
Yeah.
they roll.
I get
Convinced
how
it'll work.
people have like dice jails. I understand it.
No, D&D rolling is more superstitious than like freaking pro sports.
Yeah, right.
Let's see here. Blap, 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 blap. So that is that. Tell me your numbers. It's easier in it.
Oh,
Don't
yeah.
forget, you can guidance it if you need to guidance it.
20.
18.
14.
20.
Who was the 14?
Carlos.
6.
6.
Roll your guidance, Connor.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, guidance.
All right, 17.
Nice. Arden, you have heat stroke.
Woo!
2 of you also fail the lack of water for the day. Can't remember who that was.
Oh,
Me and
right.
Lash.
I feel it.
Arden and Lash.
Yeah.
So Walter, Lash, and Arden.
Oh, did
Oh,
we
wait,
do
no.
today's forage check or no?
Not Walter.
Yeah, we did.
I think, yeah, Carlos.
Yeah,
Got it.
I've exhausted
Yeah, you,
because
pa-
of the
you passed
water.
everything else, I think.
Yeah.
You just. Oh, actually, did you pass?
Yeah, we did because I rolled my 9 into a 20, and then Lash fell into the earth, and then we came back from break.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just
But did Arden
Just-
and Carlias like succeed in finding water? Because if all 3 of you are searching for water, maybe we find more than enough to like fill up our water skins, etc.
you have water for tomorrow. There won't be a
Okay.
Okay.
thing. Yeah, you fill up the water
Gotcha.
skins. But the lack of water today is what will affect. Is
Yeah.
what will be the exhaustion for tomorrow.
Cool.
So
Right. So I've got a point of
one disadvantage, 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 and then you push on again through the night northeast. So navigators give me another survival.
This is you, right?
Just
Jesse?
Raja again?
Yeah, just Raja.
Boink.
You can guidance it. Oh no, you have advantage. You
It's a
have
24.
Yeah, very easily. This time using the stars because it's nighttime to navigate. You probably find some like the constellation of Moradin and use that to navigate you northeast pretty easily. Scout, singular scout.
It doesn't even matter, man.
Nighttime is Lash time. Lash is just on, I don't know, luck
Has she rolled anything under a 15 for the past 2 hours?
Oh,
You guys
no,
can
man.
go immediately back to Sin River and go to one of those casinos
Yeah.
with
But
her. and
Yeah,
just
on the
rolling that
trip
twenty.
over is where
The
her
last
luck will
time you
run
did
out.
that, you managed to get. You got a weird thing from there. That
Yeah,
Yeah. The
Uh,
ring of invisibility.
She has her invis ring from gambling.
Yeah.
yeah.
You got the invis ring. Didn't you
She's-
also get a little knife?
Yeah, I have a sacrificial dagger.
Oh yeah.
You know,
I
in,
have a 5e winning gold coin.
You know, in games where you just randomly get items and one of them goes into the key item thing. That's where the sacrificial dagger lives, by the way. It's gonna come back later on, just so you're aware. So don't delete it
Oh, I
or
won't.
anything.
I gave
Old point and click. You don't use it until 20 hours later that you've
Can't
already
use
deleted
it
it.
until the new game plus. Yeah, I mean you easily avoid any weirdness. Doesn't seem like there's anything too pressing around you as you scout out ahead and look around for things flying or things underfoot. No more strange being dragged into sand situations. And foragers, give me some foragings.
Disadvantage. Nice.
Nice.
Fucking solid.
Cool. Are you exhausted, Carlias?
No.
No. Yeah, you guys find food and water overnight. It's not as pressing at night because it's not as hot, but you still need to. It's still a high DC, and you just about find enough resources to push through the evening. And yeah, pretty easy one. You guys killed it on that one, and find yourselves tired. Very tired and very dirty and worn out, and probably each approaching a point of exhaustion just for the push, for the march, the sort of 16-hour march. Walter's probably lost his mind a little bit on the travel, but you find your way very easily, Navigator Raja, to the ruins of Yellowrock, which is very, very easy to find for you as you approach this sort of dried riverbed, not quite as deep as the one that you sort of almost lost Arden in when he went wandering down into it. But it's a similar sort of situation. And once you find that riverbed, it's very easy for you to navigate along that riverbed slightly southeast towards the area where Yellowrock was. Sat just on the edge of this riverbed. It's a squat little. It was a lot. It was still just a settlement. It wasn't really even a town like you'd find Lost Stone, Shallow Scar, but it was a decent one. They had stone structures as well as tents and wooden outposts. The whole place would have looked something like this area of a video game that we won't mention. But you come to an area where there's this kind of like run-down, old-looking sandstone buildings and red rock buildings, broken, ancient-looking palisade walls made out of wood, and then just it overlooks this riverbed, this ancient-looking riverbed that would have made for a pretty natural defensive position for a little settlement like this. The place was ransacked years ago, and it's fallen almost entirely to ruin. Although, as you approach, and the closer you get, the more the easier it is for you to spot not just Raja but everybody. You see these sort of strange sort of columns of light that are coming up from the area, and they sort of light up in like a perfect column of like white light, and then it disappears, and then another column will light up blue and then disappear, and then another column will light up red, and it's almost kind of like this weird like light show that's going off from somewhere in the center of these ruins. You can also make out a couple of figures similar to like this that are on top of the old ruined houses of the area. There does appear to be a bunch of people here, and they're not hiding necessarily. There's all these weird light columns, and you can see lanterns and fires. It doesn't look like a lot of people. It's not like a flourishing city. It's just like a handful of people, but there's definitely like a handful of people. And as you guys approach, you'll see that very clearly, even though it is still nighttime. I think it would be very early morning. We'd say it's still very dark, but there appears to be people in the ruins of Yellowrock as you approach.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I'll
hey.
once we get within visible range of Yellowrock, I'll stop at the front of the group and wait for the foragers and such to catch up.
This is
Yeah.
these are the people I need to meet.
Are they?
Yeah,
There
they're
were-
a bunch
there
of
were
wizards.
supposed to be wizards here.
We're
from
sh- and we're sure they're not hostile because
Yeah.
I've been
I have a
I've
thing
been
for
to-
them.
I've been to this town twice before, and last time it was destroyed.
Well,
But I suppose if you have a legitimate delivery to make, we might as well go say hi. I suppose they won't be too upset at us for bringing them there.
yeah, they
item.
seemed nice. They seemed perfectly fine. They were fine. They're fine.
Didn't you say they threatened you that you had to deliver it?
Yeah, they were a little grumpy, but they were otherwise really fine. Just pushy and senile, you know, like in old age where they don't really know what they're saying. They just
Well,
kind of
Walter,
grumble a lot.
I guess we'll just hope that the ones here are a little bit more
Yeah.
coherent. What is it, Lash?
do you know if... See, when we were in Sin River, they said that their high wizard was in Yellowrock.
Oh, really? I don't know. The one that I met, he was like 3.5 feet tall, and he was really old. He had a beard that was longer than the rest of his body, and he just grumbled
Old is
a lot.
good.
That's right, Lash. Didn't you say you wanted someone, or you were looking for a wizard? Why were you looking for a wizard again?
There's a... I just need a high level wizard thing. And I get really quiet and kind of pull my cloak over
You
my...
don't have to tell us if you don't want to. We'll go see if there's someone here who can help with whatever spell you
Oh,
need.
Look at Carlias and... Oh, so she gets to keep her secrets, huh? Yeah, okay.
This is news to me. I've been dead for a few weeks.
Really?
You were definitely alive because I was still alive back. Whatever.
I'm just...
what?
Hey, they were
Just
okay.
Actually, hold on one
Start
second.
walking forward.
And I'm gonna stop and like wait up for 5 minutes or something and set off my undead and fiend sonar and see if I can sense anything here. Because last time I was here, I got attacked by a mummy, and I don't want that to happen again.
I'm still walking.
Okay, hey, he'll stop him and say, "Hold up. Last time I was here, there was trouble. A mummy. Just let me see real quick, and I'll just go into meditation for a second and see if I can feel anything nearby."
The second he closes his eyes, I'm continuing walking.
Okay, I don't stop him again then. I'm too busy meditating.
Yeah, you get a sort of an odd sensation off of Walter immediately, which probably doesn't come as too much of a surprise. There's definitely some sort of undead thing going on in and around him. Other than that, there doesn't appear to be anything particularly dangerous in your immediate vicinity. Again, this thing sends out like 5 miles, so you will almost definitely get a couple of odd pings, but it could be anything. It could just be a skeleton wandering around in a cave in the Underdark 5 miles below you. But it doesn't. You don't get any like close sensations. Nothing immediately pings back on your undead sonar. It seems to be, or everything appears to be alive, or isn't a devil or a fiend or whatever it is that else comes up on your
Fiend and undead.
fiend
Yeah.
and un-
After I'm done, I'll snap out of it and say, I don't sense anything particularly evil here. But let's
Oh.
just walk up and say hi.
Good.
Actually, I'll look at Lash. Maybe you should do Lash things. Maybe you'll uncover a detail the rest of us might miss.
Okay.
And I'll wait. Where'd Walter go?
I'm just
Where did Wall go? You just wandering in?
I'm walking right up to the front. If there is a front door like that, I'd like to walk in.
Well, you had like a
I'm
solid.
not throwing all caution to the wind though. Like if it does look like there is something like shifty going on, the second I'm like in view, then I'm going to be like, oh fuck, and turn around.
There's
Did Carlias and Arden go with him, or did they stay with me? Because you had like a solid 5 minutes while Raja's sitting there meditating, where you could just walk ahead.
Yeah.
So when I open my eyes, are those two still here, or did they go with him?
Carlias is just a little few feet in front of you, looking
Yeah.
towards the door.
Probably the same, just keeping both eyes on everybody.
Where'd Walter go?
Ah,
Oh,
that
he
lane.
walked ahead.
Oh, yeah, he just
Come- let's catch. I just kind of like motion to Lash, like you sneak in. The rest of us, let's catch up with him before he gets himself hung, and we'll all
Oh.
run to catch up with Raj or Walter.
Walter. You
Oh, shit.
head towards like the palisade wall kind of opening that
Yeah.
lets you into where this town was. There's loads of bits where it's just you can just walk into just a scattered ruin. There was probably lots of tents and things in like various areas that are just open patches of land. As you move in towards the area, one of the sandstone sort of buildings, it definitely looks like a ruin and it's fallen apart, has a very large figure on top. And as you're approaching, you just hear him shout down, "Who goes there?"
Hey, are there wizards here?
"Yes. Who you?"
I'm Walter.
"Walter,
Yes.
you come in peace?
Yes, I have a delivery?
You best come in peace or you leave in pieces."
No, I have I don't want to. No, I have a delivery, and I'm gonna like fish. And hold on, and just this.
"Delivery for who?"
Do I know who? I don't think I know who. I wasn't given a name. I just, it was. Listen, I got this scroll in what the fuck was it
Shallow
called?
Scar.
Thank you, Shallow Scar. And I have to deliver it.
"For who?
I don't know.
From who?"
I don't know. It was. They told me to meet them here.
"I come down there.
Okay.
I escort you in."
I have some friends.
"Who friend?"
They're accompanying me on the delivery.
"You wait there." And the very
Yes.
large figure
I wait.
walks down. As you see like the person walk down a set of stairs inside, you see a torch light up, and then he walks down and out this like open front door. He appears before you. He's a Goliath, very
shit.
large looking Goliath. On one side he has a long sword. He's wearing just kind of like rough looking leathers, and he's got like almost like a cloak more than a robe, but it does pull up at the top, but it doesn't really cover him too much. It doesn't look like it would serve too much of a covering purpose. It just but it does have a hood. As he comes down, he holds the torch out very close to your face, enough for you to feel the heat in the night, and he looks you over. You can see that he has very large blue eyes. His skin is completely devoid of tattoos, which is pretty rare for a Goliath. He's like completely untattooed. His skin is also like a very deep brown color, like a bronze and dark-skinned Goliath. Relatively rare in Dustvale. Most Goliaths are like gray-skinned looking. And this guy gives you a good look over, and I guess the rest of the party start to approach. He says, "You want to see Ergwin?"
Yeah, that's. I mean, you can look at the paper. I have it. This is it.
"Friends."
Yeah.
He holds the torch up to each of you and looks you each dead in the eyes as you approach. "My name Loneheart."
Hello, Lone Heart. I'm Walter, and this is Raja, and Lash, and Arden, and this is Carlias. He's really grumpy right now.
"I assume you are not here to kill."
Nope. just to deliver and to rest.
He waves the torch and tries to put it out. It doesn't work, and he stabs it into the ground, the sand. Okay, you would not be able to see us if you come with the intent to kill.
Oh.
He's very clever, Ergwin.
Oh.
Come.
Oh.
Come. He starts to walk to the center. There are
Yeah.
two thin-looking young sort of wizards that are causing these light columns to happen. One will chant or say something, a few words, and then a column of light will appear in front of where his hands are outstretched, and then he'll kind of giggle. The other one will then do the same thing, and then a huge column of light will appear and giggle. They look identical. They look like identical twin humans, very young, probably not even out of their teens. And they're wearing like very little in terms of clothing. Both of them have a sort of ripped pair of like long shorts on, and then a vest. They're not wearing like typical wizarding robe, but they're clearly casting from a book. And then these spells are being cast. So they're not like you in terms of sorcery and just blah. They're reading things and then casting the spell. And it's just it's like a harmless column of light that just flashes for a second, and they giggle and laugh about it. They seem to be more like having fun and playing. As you guys approach, they kind of stop and look over and just watch you pass with this Goliath. You
Yeah,
pass.
whilst we're walking past, you just hear Carlos to Lash. Oh yeah, a little bit grumpy, like we haven't walked across the desert for 8 days straight. Yeah, no, absolutely fine. Don't have to worry about heat stroke or anything. No, and then we got a talking cat person and a sheep person.
I think you just need some adult water.
You know, that'd be really nice right about now.
Yeah, just some adult water and then a nice hot meal.
Hey,
There's another Goliath.
Never mind the sneaking in part. This whole place is warded with enchantments. I don't think you'd get past the wall.
There's another Goliath on top of one of the other ruined structures who kind of looks down and kind of watches you pass. This one has a longbow on his back, doesn't seem to have anything else, but is dressed sort of very similarly to Loneheart. But he's a big tattooed, probably he looks a little larger than Loneheart, grey skinned, very tattooed, more typical looking Goliath of Dustvale. Loneheart looks like he's from some other country.
Does he wave back?
No, he does not. He just watches you all pass. He looks a lot gruffer and a lot more grim in the face. He's got a couple of scars on him. He looks a lot more dangerous. Loneheart seems, for a Goliath, to be pretty chill compared to most Goliaths. Loneheart then leads you past the sort of center area of where these guys seem to have set up a camp, and towards a like a caravan looking thing. On the side of it, there's a bunch of different writing that seems to kind of sparkle and glow. And it says Ergwin's magics, spelled like with the CK and S. Magics, Ergwin's magics, and it kind of lights up and changes, and it's got like a kind of almost, to us it would look like it was on one of those pieces of paper that does the weird trick of the eye, where it kind of looks like it changes sides as you pass it. It doesn't look very expensive. It doesn't look very good. It looks pretty like a cheap trick to anybody who can cast magic, but it would definitely, if you're sort of trying to sell snake oil to like the locals of a town, you can imagine a bunch of the commoners would just run up to it and be like, "Whoa, it'd be awesome!" But to you guys who are a little more savvy with these things, it looks like a cheap trick on the side of a pretty poor-looking caravan. What the caravan is pulled by is even more of a mystery to you, because there's no horses or like camels or anything around that would pull it.
3 people in a gimp suit.
Yeah, there's no 3 people in a gimp suit. There's just these 2 Goliaths, these 2 younger looking wizards, and then this caravan. from the back, there's a small wooden door that leads in. This thing looks small, by the way. Like, it doesn't look like anyone could live inside of this thing. It looks more like you would store things and then walk beside it, with horses pulling it. It's like a carriage. But from inside, you can hear all sorts of like pots and pans sort of noises, things being moved around, and then you'll hear like a glass smash, a muffled curse word, and then a strange smell will emanate from the caravan as you guys approach. Loneheart says, "You wait here." To you, Walter. He doesn't seem to give a fuck what the rest of you are doing.
Okay.
And he bangs on the back of the caravan. There's a few moments before you hear from inside. Yes? What is it? People to see you. It's okay. They seem dirty. Oh, well, I suppose I'd better make myself more presentable then. Have they come to purchase or to sell? They come to deliver. What is it? He says to you, Walter.
I have a scroll.
Scroll for you. A scroll? Just one? Just one scroll.
But yeah.
Yes,
I'm like
one.
holding it like.
It's a really
Just
good
one
scroll.
Magical scroll. Magical scroll.
I can hear him. Why can't I just talk to him?
I'll talk to you when I'm ready. The magical scroll, Learnhardt. Is it magical scroll?
I don't know. I was told not to open it. It's sealed.
The voice says, "Well, are you a sorcerer or not?
What?
Is it magical?"
I'll do an Arcana check. Tides of
sure.
chaos.
Give me,
Oh no! Not
give me a D1.
not here!
Give me a D1.
No!
This is it. I will tempt fate today.
If you get a self-casted
Oh no,
fireball,
this is a good one. This is a good one.
Maximize
Maximize the damage of the next damaging spell.
You're pretty sure it's not magical. It just seems like a scroll with a message.
No.
All right. Send him in. You can go in now.
Thank you. I heard. Yeah.
Just you.
I.
The rest of you can go. Fire. There's meat on fire. Help selves. Yes.
Elias instantly runs towards
he's
it.
so good. You're on your own, Walter.
You got.
Woohoo!
Walter.
Can you guys bring me? Okay. All right. I
Um,
cook for everyone for a whole week, but no one brings me. I'm gonna walk in.
Do you have any adult water here?
Adult water. You want shit kicker ale?
That sounds like just what he needs. Yes.
Yeah. We get some shit kicker ale. Yes. The rest of us go eat meat and shit kicker ale, and he can speak for Ergwin. They could be many years. Yes.
Oh, no.
No.
Perhaps. But I need to speak to Aragorn too. Can you tell him?
The form of Walter probably steps up the couple of steps and opens the door and heads inside, and then knocks on the door. The Goliath knocks on the door. The other wishes to speak to you. The bird creature, human. And from inside you hear, yes, Lash, I'll get to you soon enough. Don't worry. You go help yourself to some food. It's perfectly safe. You can all relax. No scorpions in here. Huh?
Huh.
Yeah, it's funny. It's funny because you very narrowly missed a scorpion the other day.
I'm
And,
gonna very confusedly go toward the fire and tell Carlias about the adult water.
The Goliath heads over towards the fire. The fire is over back where those two wizards were making the columns of light. Although they've stopped as you approach, they're like kind of sat off in the distance, sitting on a wall with their legs kicking out, just pointing at things in the sky. They seem very childlike, even though they're probably like late teens, and usually by then you're like a full-grown adult in this sort of environment in Dustvale. But they seem very, very relaxed, very chill. and the Goliath starts to turn what looks like a full roasted hog with a couple of barrels next to it with like apples in it and other fresh ingredients for food. Unbelievably great looking
Yes.
food for the middle of the desert. You don't normally even get. This is what you were served in the whatever inn that you were at Shallow Scar, the rich one. This is like good food, and he turns the hog. He's perfectly ready, and he starts to cut off slices and just throws slices of fresh meat at you. There is bread in basket at bottom. Points at Arden. There's a cat kind of nervously pacing around Arden's feet, but licking its lips and looking at the meat. This guy just starts handing out food and handing over these like random tankards, pointing at various kegs, with the words "shit kicker" written on the side. And if you guys all want, you can chill out and eat food and relax with Loneheart as he starts to just serve up food. And he seems pretty chill.
Carlos will grab his attention. So what the hell's in this stuff? Talking about, like, referencing the shit kicker.
He's a shit kicker ale. You never have ale. You are a dwarf.
I'm more of a whiskey kind of guy, but
He's just
Let me try that. Just like rush it, just instantly just starts chugging.
You drink it. It's all you do. You drink, make you feel good.
fine. You next it back.
It's great.
Can I insight check the DM?
The DM.
You just said it's great.
All right. Yeah, I
I was
mean,
like-
you can insight check everything if you're scared that this is all bullshit.
Yeah, I think for like 3 seconds there's maybe I should check this for poison, but oh no, it's just too good. Just nom without checking it.
Food seems good. Doesn't smell like poison. Seems real. Ale seems to smell fine. You've never had this ale before, but it's good ale. It's very strong, dark ale that you're drinking, but it seems legit. The source of it just doesn't make sense to you. It doesn't make sense either how they managed to travel this far away from a town and set up just what looks like a basic camp inside of an old ruin. They can't have been here for too long. It doesn't look like they live here. It just looks like they're passing through like you and maybe have been here for a little while. But how they have all this stuff and these things doesn't make in complete sense. But also you have like a traveling wizard, so they do produce food sometimes. So maybe it's something like that. But in terms of it being bullshit, it doesn't seem to be bullshit. It just seems to be good food. It seems pretty above board from what you can tell. Walter, you open up this tiny little door into the back of this carriage, expecting probably to see a bunch of boxes and containers and things, which is usually what these carriage things are for. And you open it up, and what you see is a bedroom. And it looks way larger than the sides of the carriage. Maybe like popping your head out and looking left and right. It's got like a TARDIS effect. It's not huge in there. It's not like you open it up to a palace, but like it does not. It's like a trick of the eyes to look at instantly. It seems to open up wide inside.
Yeah.
And there's a large, extremely expensive, comfortable looking double bed at one end of the room. There are a bunch of counters with all sorts of pots, pans, and alchemical things, alembics and vials. There's like a full table full of all sorts of various things, stools and cups and drinks and empty plates that probably had food on them. There's cards and things on there as well. It's like a big palace bedroom, which also serves as some sort of alchemical thing. But there is also a handful of boxes and kegs, and you can tell instantly that what's in them is merchandise, things to sell. There's all sorts of trinkets. There's like shiny boxes full of like what looks like just stacks of rings and necklaces. There's a couple of boxes that have lots of what look like potions and vials in, and then a couple of kegs which have all sorts of various labelings on them. It seems to equal parts be this person's home and place where they create things of a magical nature, and a storage for a traveling wizard's traveling trader caravan. Sat at the table in a long flowing robe, which at the end has all these little tassels, which are very, very rare and expensive looking, with all these strange glyphs and writings along this deep red robe with the hood pulled up so it obscures this person's eyes. You see a smile underneath of very perfect looking white teeth, with his legs up, feet completely out of any boots or socks, just clean looking feet resting on a table, and his arms resting on the top of the table, doing this motion as you walk in. He says, "Oh, hello there, Walter. Yes, I wasn't expecting you.
But you just...
Please take a seat. You don't have to eat with the commons out there. You can help yourself to something a little more spicy. Yes, you like spices?
I don't have many.
They have a mushroom in the caves of Fien Thaylor on the other side of the planet, and you can carve a little strip of the mushroom off. Cook up a lovely filet mignon in this, and then you just drop that on the top at the end of it, and that
What's
the fiery tincture in your mouth. Come.
What's
I'll make you one.
filet mignon?
Oh, you're about to find out. Only the freshest meat from the furthest reaches of the land.
Is this the reward for delivering the scroll?
Oh, no.
Oh. This
This is dinner.
Uh,
You're in my house. I'm being welcoming, that's all.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sure. Okay, cool. I like food. I haven't eaten ever.
He sort of offers a stool in front of you.
Yeah, I'll
round
sit down.
table, like a poker table
I'll
kind of
sit
looking
down.
thing. As you sit down, in front of you, like a materialized full plate with a big old steak on it and a side of fresh-looking vegetables. A small little slice of a mushroom sat on top of the steak, with a huge goblet of like thick, dark-looking wine just appears almost illusionary in front of you, and then the smell hits you, and it smells awesome. He says, "Oh, do mind my manners," and he moves his hands and mumbles a few words, and then a couple of knives and forks of varying shapes appear at the side with a bunch of spoons at the top. He says, "I know it all seems rather false. This is the type of thing a hag would do to try and lure you into a cave and have her way with you. But I assure you I'm not a hag. The name's Ergwin, and I am, I believe, the oldest wizard in this here town."
I'm Walter. What was that about a hag?
Oh, there are these terrible creatures. Please do dig in. Terrible, terrible creatures. They live
I'm just
far out in these cave systems,
start
and
eating.
they'll
Yeah.
trick you into eating all sorts of things. Of course, it's a drug, and then they'll eat you.
Still eating.
Usually, what they're producing, of course, is maggots. I'm actually providing you with a very, very tasty filet mignon with a Fien Thaylor cave mushroom.
Fuck.
In your head,
Fuck.
another voice appears and says, "Oh my god. If we kill him, we get all this stuff."
No, Balgaresh, that's not. No, we're not doing that.
The wizard says, "Balgaresh, if you wouldn't mind, I'm just going to," and as he does this motion, you hear Balgaresh saying, how does he know about me? I don't know. And he's just
Monka fucking
slowly
yes.
turned down. Yes.
Oh.
I've not got time to listen to all that. I'm sure he's got his own things, and I'm sure you'll deal with that in time, but I'm rather interested in this scroll now, if you wouldn't mind.
Okay. Just gonna hand it over to him.
The wizard opens it up. As he does so, he pulls his hood back and he reveals like a he's a clean looking high elf. But he's bald, completely bald. His ears kind of point out a little flatter than the usual elven ears. But other than that, no real unique particular features, no like weird scars or strange piercings and things. Pretty plain looking. He just appears to only be wearing this robe as well, like a bathrobe almost, but it is a wizard's robe. He breaks the seal and reads it and says, throws it to one side. It lands on a pile of other scrolls. Yes, as I suspected. Well, back to work. It's been 329 years of dilly-dallying out in the desert. It's been quite fun. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, thank you very much. Do feel free to stay the night. I'll let you finish your food, and then you can rejoin your friends.
Thanks.
Yes.
I don't get anything like super cool for this, do I?
Well,
Yeah,
I assume
we
you have to go and speak to whoever it was who sent you for the reward.
I don't.
I didn't send for this scroll, you see, no.
I don't.
This is a message.
But
This is a summons, of
he
course,
told me
from
to-
me,
He told me to meet
Egwin, to return.
him. He
Sin
said,
River.
but
What?
yeah, no, it's okay. I only just walked across the desert for a week to deliver it, you know.
Oh, well, I was under the impression that you were heading to Dread Tusk. This
yeah,
was just a little passing
still-
thing that you picked up anyway.
still walked.
Little odd job.
Yeah, no, okay, all right. Well, all right, no, that's cool. That's fine.
I would say you're probably the only person in Dustvale in the last century or so that's had one of those mushrooms, so that's pretty good, isn't it?
You know what? You're right. That's fine.
Yes, you can't find them anymore. They're gone.
Okay. And I appreciate it. And I'm just gonna. I guess I'll keep eating.
Yeah. I mean, of course, we are open for business. If you'd like to buy something, you can.
Yeah, we're broke.
Oh, that's a terrible shame.
Yeah.
Well, I suppose I am going out of business since I've got to go back to work. This has been fun and all.
Yeah. That's. What do you do?
Well, I sell trinkets, and I wander around the desert, just exploring, looking around, seeing what I can find. Usually pick up a few friends on the way.
Huh.
Old Loneheart. Found him, just a little wee babby in the desert, almost died of starvation. He's from somewhere else. He's not from here. Couldn't deal with it. Almost died. I gave him a glass of water. He decided to stick with me.
For a glass of water?
Well, what else was he going to do?
All right. Yeah. Fair point. Fair point.
He was lost.
Okay. Well, sorry you went out of business.
Oh, no. It's perfectly fine. Spot of bother, of course. Coming up. Not yet.
Cool.
I do believe
What are you gonna?
I do believe that wine there is
Yeah.
not going to drink itself.
Yeah. I'm gonna drink. So what are you gonna do with all the stuff that
Right,
you're?
seems like you're done. He waves his hand and your things disappear. He says, well, thank you very much. I do have things to get on with, of course.
Yeah. No, thank you.
You've been wonderful company.
I'll shake his hand and walk out.
Oh, and of course he does this, and Balgaresh comes back. Oi! Oi!
Oh.
Oi! Oh, you can hear me again. What's that?
Oh.
How'd he do that then? How'd he do that? Nice to see you again, Balgaresh. See him again. I ain't never seen you before in my life. Tell him I ain't never seen him before in my life.
He's never seen you before in his. No, I'm not doing this, and I'm gonna walk out.
Yes, and as you walk out. Oh, send in Lash if you wouldn't mind.
Okay.
Oh, and
Yep.
tell Balgaresh that, no, don't worry about it. I'm sure he'll work it out by himself, and so will you. And the door closes.
Oh. Well, what? I'm gonna go find Lash.
Cool. The wizard inside, sort of like jumps up. His robes fall off him, and he's just completely naked now. And he looks about him and says, "Rightio, rightio. Let's see. Where did I put it? Can't remember how to cast True Polymorph, but I'm pretty sure that's what she's here for. How much shall I charge her?" And that's where we end today's session.
Oh shit.
Hey.
Oh shit. Damn it, dude. You're fucking teased, Brad. I thought you were gonna give me loot, and then like I was like, I mean, I'm not gonna ask, and then I was like, okay, fine, I'll ask, and then you just cock blocked me right there.
I didn't cockblock you, Egwin. The
That was
wizard
awesome.
did. Yeah,
That was a good episode.
That was really good.
jeez. You did a lot.
Travel is almost over.
Yeah.
We're
Travel
so
is taking
close.
A lot longer than I expected it to take,
Yeah.
which is interesting. I thought it was like one episode. I don't know why I incredibly, massively misjudged this.
Well, that's why.
Probably because I never do travel.
I was gonna say you said you've never done it, so.
I just want to have more episodes where we all argue with Jay at the same time.
Oh my fucking God.
Make
Dude,
him
I'm
try
not
to
even-
respond to 3 sentences at once.
I'm not even kidding you. That was like the most sensory overload I've experienced in a while. Holy shit. Oh,
That was good
my
fun.
God. It was pretty fucking spot on.
Thanks for playing, players, and thanks for watching, watchers. We'll do a quick round of shout outs before we let everybody go and we stop abusing Jay. For this week.
For this week.
For today, I don't know. I might speak to you tomorrow. I'll send you a few messages.
It's not
oh,
Connor anymore. It's
Yeah.
It's now me. We've moved on.
Correct. We pick a new target every week. As soon as Tenchi's feeling better, he's going down. Yeah, so let's do a couple shout outs. Let's start with Connor himself, the wee man.
Twitch.tv/Connor Kronos.
Twitch.tv/ween.
Wait, what?
You're a little babby, aren't you? The young one.
We.
The child of the
We.
group.
I'm sorry, what now?
There you go.
voice
Connor
modulator.
Cronus. Make sure you give Connor a little follow.
Yes, I have a volume knob on my throat, so I can just.
Hi, how you doing?
Right now.
I hate
That's
him.
when Carlias inevitably gets himself murdered.
That's his next character's voice.
Next character is
Oh,
Oh,
God.
hi there. It's me, Carlisle. Oh, you know, I saw that fight with the dragon. You really shouldn't have gone in there, you know. It was a really bad idea. You were gonna die from the beginning, you know.
Now I just want Connor to play a gnome as his next character.
Yeah, that's the voice. If
I'd be like the Navi.
Hey guys! Hey guys!
You're already Navi. No,
Will you
no
shut
more,
up?
No more. No.
Dead.
No.
Dead.
There's a dragon!
Please
But there's
give
a
him,
dragon!
give him disadvantage the entire fucking campaign.
There's a
Give him disadvantage on living.
You know what? That was our shout outs for the week, guys. Good job. All right.
And that's the end of that one.
That's it.
I'm kidding. Tuesday Grey. Where can people find you apart from Tuesday Grey? Tuesday Grey. Have I guessed it right?
That's the only place that they can find me. Also, the same place on Twitter. And today's episode was super duper fun. So thanks for watching, guys. And we'll see you next week.
Nice, Mr. HJ Tenchi.
That's all you get.
Oh.
HJ Tenchi. Twitch.tv/HJ Tenchi.
I guess that works too.
And then Mr. Fairlight Excalibur.
You can find me at twitch.tv/Raja.
Yeah.
No, that's not it. It's
Isn't that the only
twitch.tv.
one that- Fairlight
Huh?
Excalibur. Yours is the only one that isn't Fairlight Excalibur because there's an extra character in there.
Yeah, I've got that lovely little underscore in there screwing me up. And then my name on every other platform is shortened to Fairlight EX because it's too long to fit anywhere else. And what was I thinking when I made this username?
Yeah, it happens to the best of us. Last but not least, Wian Broteo. She's turned her wings against us.
Dude, I for once I am going to shout out my channel and say, come watch me play Monster Hunter because it's
Unhood.
the greatest fucking game that I've ever touched.
Jesus Christ.
And that's all I'm ever playing from now on.
What about Hunt Showdown?
No, I actually haven't seen it yet. I'll play it eventually though. But Mon Hunt
It's
is
really
amazing.
good.
I want to try it. I saw somebody else playing it. Join our Discord and sub to our YouTube and There was.
Sunday.
See you next Wednesday, 4 p.m. Eastern. Make sure to tune into Neon Scream, cats, please. Neon Scream Fridays and Ilios on Sundays on my channel. And we'll see you guys next week.
We'll see
Me?
you next week.
Brad,
for-
you don't? Do you have anything to announce? No.
Not yet.
All right, Brad is actually. Oh, never mind. No, you said not yet.
Yeah, not yet.
Okay. All right. I was gonna make a joke, but that would have spoiled it. We'll see you guys
It's
next
not
week.
ready yet.
It's
Jay.
listen. It's fine. Bye.